I am Umineko's strongest soldier, who does not fall to the temptations of Project Zomboid. Hello, hello. Good to see you, Jeremy. Good to see you, Sky. Hope y'all are doing well. Happy Monday. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, it's still pretty bad. It's still really bad. For context, the server opened on Wednesday, right? We're almost one full week to Zomboid having been out, right? I'm at 50 hours. I'm at 50 hours, and it's like the equivalent right now of me hitting the workday of Friday for like Zomboid. It's crazy. I tried to load up the Zomboid server like 2 hours ago and it wouldn't install the mod, so I just read more Uta. Real. Yeah, already almost, not even a week, Sky. It's only been like 5 days, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Oh, 6 days. Almost a week. And also, hello, Noobly. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we're just going to sit here with the light pitter-patter of the rain for a little bit while I talk about the way I've been just so hyper-fixated in Zomboid. Like, it's insane. Like, on work days, I will, like, wait for lunchtime to hit for me to hop on for, like, an hour. And then as soon as I get off work, it's, like, more Zomboid. The only thing keeping me grounded is work and streams. I'm putting my channel on YouTube's crosshair again for the next thumbnail. Yeah, the Umineko rain sounds so relaxing. Oh, it really is, it really is. We really channeled the Neko of Umineko on our Blue Sky the other night. Because, like, I was going to stream yesterday. I did have some plans come up. So I was like, dang. Well, if I'm not going to stream, let's post something. And then I posted a picture of my cat. Like, I don't know if y'all are on Blue Sky or not, but if you aren't, here it is. Cat drop. He's like very okay with being grabbed. That cat pic was peak. But yeah, like, we grabbed that Neko pic for Umineko. Did you see the commission? Did you see the commission you got? Mm-hmm. No, it was really cool. I think I remember seeing them in Ace Attorney. I mean, it is an Ace Attorney background, so I have to imagine it was like commissioned off of like a Ace Attorney character. Is that Larry Butts? Do I remember them right? Or am I mistaking them for someone else? Also, hello, Flash. Good to see you. Good to see you. But I just remember like one of the homie characters looking kind of similar. Maybe not. I'm totally like Larry Butts mentioned. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah. Oh, it's Phoenix Wright. Oh. Oh, okay. I ain't never seen Phoenix like that. But cool, cool. We'd love to see it. What's it called? So yeah, Sunday I was out. I went to go like catch dinner with my girlfriend for a bit, and then we hung out for a little. And then now I'm here. Zomboid. It's Phoenix right after the time skip. Time skip. What's he carrying? Is that a stick of dynamite? TOS? No. Surely not. He's handing us something. Yeah, I mean, as a Californian, we know. I mean, I feel like most people know. But yeah. I don't know. I don't really have too much things to yap about today because, like, all I've done in my free time is play Zomboid. It's literally just Zomboid. Maybe I can talk a little bit about Zomboid, because for those who are like not following along with it, it's like, oh yeah, like we added a lot to the server. We added a Chronicler's Corridor music pack, which is just like 40 songs that I added into the workshop. that can now be played while like zomboid activities are happening. We low-key snuck our most recent cover, the Poison Pop cover that me and Sky did. So like I'm waiting to see if I can find that cassette tape so I can just be like playing that while we like fight zombies and shit. It's so peak. Should I try weed? I cannot. I mean, me personally, I'm not. I'm more of like a straight edge kind of guy. Like, I think I was around too many people who were like kind of onto a lot of things, so that kind of put me off of ever like doing anything like that. But again, no disrespect or hate towards it. It's just like kind of not really for me personally. Even like cigarettes too. We plug. Yeah, we love the plug. So yeah, like worst I'll do personally is like drink. That is like maybe the vice that I chose, but I don't even like drink on any other occasion besides social ones, and even then it's maybe like a beer or like, you know, like a shot. We don't go too crazy. We don't go too crazy. Hmm. Yeah, the decision is yours alone to make. Say no to smoke, say yes to coffee. Yeah. Caffeine. Okay. Caffeine is my vice in like the most random of ways. Like, I'll have weeks or months at a time where I'm really into coffee now. And then I'll get back into like gamer sups, and then I'll like do, I don't know, whatever the fuck. And the weird thing about caffeine for me is like I get sleepy, right? Like after I take it, like I just immediately want to go to bed. It is a delayed reaction thing where like if I have it, I get so sleepy, but when I wake up, like I am woke. I am hella woke. That's ADHD. No. No. We cannot. That it is merely one potential sign, but I will not confirm it until I get diagnosed. Nietzsche of ADHD. Maybe. I've thought about it. We don't take the coffee slander. Coffee? I was in your place once, Noobly. I changed. I think I changed live on stream too. Like there was one day where I was streaming, and I was like, oh, maybe I should try coffee, huh? What about it? And then like I tried and it was okay. But I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna drink it though. Like it's fine. And now I'm like, oh yeah, give it to me. Caffeine makes me focus. Get the test. I mean, maybe one day. Maybe one day. I talked to my girlfriend about it too, and it's like, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much it would help me if I were ever to get like officially diagnosed or anything like that. Like it already feels like I've gotten accustomed to life with the way I've like managed to get through. So it's like, eh. I was like 16, 17. I found out about Mocha and it was so game over. Okay, Sky, you're so real for that because Mocha is like high key the best. I will always go for like a Mocha or like a yeah, mocha for sure. I had white mocha too, and I didn't really vibe with that nearly as much. I think just as like a chocolate guy, mocha just is my go-to like coffee. I can't do like a black. The closest I've gotten to a black was like maybe like a coffee with a tiny bit of well, a lot of sugar, and that ended up being way too sweet for me. Yeah, I used to need hella sweet mocha, but now I just drink it black sometimes. I gotta try that. You know what? If I wean myself off of like more sugary coffee, eventually I'll get to the point where I'm okay with that. But I don't know if I want to. But maybe I should. Because that'll open up a lot of opportunities for me. And by opportunities, I mean I won't have to think about like going to conventions with like my coworkers and getting like a coffee and then being concerned that there's no creamer and then being like, oh damn, well I guess I'm just gonna have to drink this really bitter coffee. Yeah, we all started with the coffee, milk, mocha, latte, sweet stuff, but eventually we reached the roots. Espresso is so good. See, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. closest I'll say I'm at is like there were those like chocolate espresso beans, but as far as like the drink, that's too scary. That's too spooky for me. Okay. Well, okay. What was the last thing that happened in Umineko? So we saw Maria get hella abused, and then she got taken over by the spirit, or is maybe channeling some sort of like Beatrice energy. Yeah, you are kind of there. Those fraps have shots of espresso in them, though. Yeah, but like the thing with the mocha fraps though is it's also got the mocha frap. You know what I mean? And when I think, oh, shot of espresso, like I'm thinking about people down in espresso. I don't know how many people do that, but I don't know. Maybe one day I'll just go on like what's it called? Not a challenge stream, but maybe like one day I do some sort of punishment wheel-esque thing like you have, Sky, but for things that aren't workouts, but more like things that like I am hesitant to do. Like maybe one of the things on the punishment wheel was like shot of black coffee or something, or like, gosh, what's something else that I'm not really fond of but I kind of am curious about? Because like of course like a shot of black coffee, like that's scary. This guy's gonna punish Nietzsche. Also, hello Flash, good to see you. I actually buy decaf but have espresso for when I need a shot. I don't know how far I could push that though. I'd have to have like a lot of things ready, because that would require me having like coffee on deck. It'd require me having, I mean, one thing that's coming to mind is like, I don't know, like a hot chip, like maybe like getting really spiced out as like something to do too. Maybe also throw alcohol in there, just really like destroy me. Like imagine the punishment wheel, but you need to take a shot, and then you also have to drink black coffee, and then you also have to like eat like ghost pepper like extract or some shit. I'd want to die. That would send me to the hospital, I think, at the ripe young age of 30. Punishment wheel option, read a hentai. Oh, you know, low-key Archelaus, you might be onto something there. Maybe like some sort of cringe like ASMR passage as like something on the punishment wheel, like, oh, we gotta like role play as something, or like, oh, we gotta like enact this scene, but of course we'll make it like safe for work. But there are lots of options. Yeah, these are terrible ideas, especially having a redeem to do everything on the wheel. That die. Cringe is better, filtering some of the wild stuff out there. I talked about cringe before, and it's like, so I said that I was gonna make a introduction video for when I did my like quote unquote like re-debut thing or debut stream, and then when I listened back to it while I was editing it, I using all of my better judgment didn't go through with it. Like I would die. I am an advocate of like, oh, kill the cringe that's inside of you. Like you should just chase your bliss. But I don't know, that little bit of me in there is like, bro, don't do it. Don't do it. You can't. You're gonna die. Read an H line in the most emotionless and serious deep tone. I mean, gosh, if I had the voice for it, right? I feel like my voice, I don't know. I've always kind of both like been okay with, but also disliked my own voice. I've always felt like it's like very, very high. And I've never really been super duper into my own voice. I've always kind of wished like, oh yeah, like wish my voice was like a little deeper or whatever. I feel like, I don't know. So like hitting those deep tones always been a lot of trouble for me. Since I'll freely do the whole welcome back master shtick when I'm in my maid outfit, I don't know what limits of cringe are for me anymore. I mean, I don't think that's that bad. I think there's like I think you can go further, Sky. Like, I think there is a line after that, welcome back, Measter, or like that can be crossed, because like I'm okay with that. You have an interesting voice. It's both deep and high. I don't, yeah, it goes places. It goes places. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if anyone like truly likes their own voice. So it's like, it's certainly something. Nietzsche gaslighting Sky here. I do the whole, would you like dinner, bath, or even me? See, I'm okay with that. Like, that's cool with me. Like, that's like just like an anime trope that I can get behind and just be like, oh yeah, you know, I'll be saying shit like that for the bit. Like, it's a different thing if you're being serious about it, but I think I can separate myself enough from the text to be like, oh yeah, I can do that. Oh my, You know, that's it. That's exactly it. It's the separating from the text. Like, when I was doing that introduction video, I could not separate myself from the text that I was making to introduce my character. And because it was like an extension of me, that's what made it that's what made me want to like chuck myself into like the nearest river. Free voice back in this economy, ayo. But yeah, I think that's what it is. The fear of being seen. Are you actually going to read? Oh, you know what? True. We are. You know, I was saying we weren't going to be yapping, and then here we are. Nearly 20 minutes. Thank you for reminding me, Noobly. And I mean, we were pretty much right at the end of the tangents, too. I don't know if there's much else I could really go on. Whoa, okay. Lock in, lock in. The strange letter that the witch had entrusted to Maria wiped all memories of dinner from our minds. Maria was repeatedly barraged with questions by Aunt Rosa and the other parents, and became increasingly ill-tempered when they refused to believe her. If we kids tried to butt in, they'd probably ignore us. Our parents were all stirred up, firing back and forth about the gold and the distribution of the assets, and completely forgot that we were even there. I already guessed they'd be talking like this in the shadows, but I hadn't thought they'd be so blunt. It gave all of us kids a considerable shock. The streamer brain cannot stop reading, chat, and yapping. From what we could overhear, all the parents wanted more money as soon as possible. Yeah, everyone in the family had their own problems. They're all really, really hungry for that money. Back and forth about grandfather's inheritance. Back and forth about the distribution of the gold if it was found. About advance payments in cash. It was so despicable I could hardly bear to watch, even though one of them was my father. I mean, Badler already didn't like his dad. So, like, that's 2 for 2. It looked like Jessica felt the same way. Also, oops, streamer mode. Let me do that. That was my Discord. Cool. Yeah, Ryukishi 7 be saying the same thing in 5 different ways in the same scene. True. Well, yeah, maybe. We left our seats without being asked to and went to hang out somewhere well away from our parents. I get it. Now I totally see why grandfather hates coming down for meals. Oh. Oh. Wait. Has there been no audio? Have I just been yapping with no audio, no rain, nothing? I did it again. Well, now that's even crazier. I wanted background audio for when I was talking. I got background noise, so I only hear you. Whoa! There was audio? Yeah, there was audio. It was like, maybe that's also it. Like, I was listening to the rain. I was like, oh yeah, it's fine. You know, we got like a little bit going on. It's not just me talking this whole time. Ah, man. I was recording some video for the Uma Musume server Because like I was like, oh yeah, here's how the music works. But when I'm not streaming, I play audio through my through my speakers. And since I had to record the audio, I had to switch the recording device to my speakers instead of my mixer. So here we are. I generally have a few audio sources at the same time, so I don't notice either. Yeah, this family sucks so much. True. I get it. Now I totally see why grandfather hates coming down for meals. I'm so disillusioned with our parents right now. All that about money and the inheritance. How can they act like that's how can they act like that right out in the open? Well, I'm already completely disillusioned with my old bastard. You know, there's like a bell curve, isn't there? Like when as far as like tactfulness and being like open or like keeping your cards close to your chest. Like when you're rich, like super mega ultra rich, you don't really care about like manners or like whatever. And maybe also when you got nothing left to lose, like it's also like fuck it, we ball. Not gonna lie, I can't help but think about Battler and Jessica's first on-screen interaction whenever I see her. You know what? Yeah, it was a wild-ass interaction. Just like Battler being, whoa, your boobs got ginormous. Can I touch them? And then she was like, I forget. It was crazy. Well, I'm already completely disillusioned with my old bastard. There's no way I could think any worse of him. That's exactly the same for me. Still, that freaking shocked me. Shocked me to the core. Jessica looked down to the floor, irritated. She was always talking about how bad her parents were, but maybe she hadn't really felt that way deep inside. The depths of Jessica's shock made that clear. You're all minors, being supported by your parents. You might not understand. But getting money is neither a simple nor a pretty thing. True. But you can't let the money change you. I think that's where they went wrong. Said some crazy stuff to Maria later. Oh. Yeah, Beatrice is watching the witch camera right now. Just in the other room. Just like a bunch of like CCTVs. I won't try to force you to understand right now, since you're still kids. But even so, I want you to realize that your parents are doing their best in their own way. Oh, great. George Aniki's gotten all mature. Yeah, they're both 18, so legally not minors. George Nissan, I know you're working hard as a full-fledged member of society. But does that mean you turned into a shameless, greedy vulture like your parents whenever you start talking about money and assets? Not true, Jessica. Truth nuke. If it were only for my own benefit, then no, I wouldn't want to do that. However, when your family and your employees, your subordinates and their families are all counting on you, there are some times when you must fight. I hate that kind of fight. That back and forth about grandfather's inheritance just makes me want to puke. Anyone remember Kids Nation, where kids had to make their own society, do challenges, cook foods, and spend cash? I don't, but is that similar to like, didn't they do that in like Children of the Corn? Or like something like that? Jessica pretended to spit violently. That harsh reaction made the depths of her pain very clear. Let's stop talking about this. All this about grandfather's hidden gold, property, and inheritance is our parents' problem, not ours. JonTron did an interview with one of those kids. It was crazy. Shame about JonTron. Shame about JonTron. There are some crazy-ass fall-offs. Like, JonTron, I don't know, like, I feel like H3H3 also fell off pretty hard. Who else fell off pretty bad? Tobuscus had like a very monumental one. I was never like a Tobuscus guy, but wow. Like, I don't know if y'all seen what he's been posting lately, but it's crazy. Let's stop talking about this. All this about grandfather's hidden gold, property, and inheritance is our parents' problem, not ours. I agree.
せめて気を利かせて
H3
親
was
たちの
never on,
話し
let's
合
be
いを邪
real.
魔しない
You
の
know,
が
I
子
kind
供
of
の
liked,
務めだと思うね。
like, I don't know, like, I kind of did watch them a bit when I was growing up. I don't know, do they still have their old videos up? Like, is H3 even, like, a thing? Yeah, like, they haven't done it. Like, I personally stopped watching them. Boy, I'm scrolling really far back. I'm scrolling really far back. When I was watching them, it was... Wow, maybe... The last thing I remember was the 100 beanie thing 9 years ago. Anything after that, I kind of didn't really watch. Yeah, Tobuscus' Assassin's Creed trailer dub was funny. Mm-hmm. You know what's wild? I never knew who any of those channels were until their controversies. Yeah, never got into Tobuscus. Same here, Sky. Like, I feel like they were, like, their videos were more what my, like, some of my, like, high school friends were into, but, like, I never really got into them. It really was just me watching, like, a ton of Let's Plays. Another one that fell off, Cry. Maybe some people will make an argument for, like, PewDiePie, but, like, I also fell off PewDiePie pretty quick, too. I don't know. I don't really know what I was watching on YouTube by the time I was, like, maybe in late high school to college. That's a weird time. I can't really pinpoint exactly what kind of content I was, like, ingesting. Because I think by that point, Cry had already stopped doing videos. And then, like, PewDiePie was on to some other bullshit. I was watching Nico B in those years. See, for me, Nico B is, like, recent. Nico B is, like, 2 or 3 years ago. Whenever he started playing Trails in the Sky. But yeah, H3, I remember them. Crazy how much stuff they put out that I just was not interested in. And then they just got really weird. I agree. At the very least, I think children have a duty to be considerate and stay out of their parents' way when they're talking together. Sounds pretty boring. Or sounds pretty boring. 3 years ago, I was watching you. Whoa. Everyone knows the phrase "adults are filthy," but we had now seen that for ourselves, and that really did give us a considerable shock. I mean, Mangaga, but sadly he's gone. Mangaga put in the dirt. No, Mangaga is still here. Mangaga is our little guy. That is Mangaga. Hold on, let me get him on screen. I'm gonna put Mangaga on screen. Let's get a little Mangaga up in here. Bring out the MG, Nietzsche. He deserves to be up here with me. Let me bring him out of his cage. He's doing just fine. Let me see. Oh, it's gotta be in my, like, old backups. It'll be fun to just have, like, a little guy. I've never really thought about having, like, a little guy. Boy, this desktop is taking a little bit to read. Have you been feeding him properly? I have not given him food or water in, like, years. Here we go on another tangent. No, it's okay. It's quick. I have him right here. He's right here. Somewhere. How long have we been staring at this chandelier? But which Mangaga? Because, like, I could go for, like, number 1. The very first one. He blinks. Or, like, I could go even deeper. Cursed. That's the OG right there. But there was also this one too. This one I had for a long time. Here, I'm gonna like set them right behind me. I need to protect them. Well, that did some weird stuff to Hawk? Tua? To my hierarchy. There we go. I don't know. I kind of like the one that blinks. He looks like unhinged. Was this one blinking? That's a PNG. There we go. And can we rotate it? That's so weird to look at him right there. Oh, I wish I could like pin him to my... I can pin him to my model on VTube Studio, right? Hold on. Hold on. Let's learn a little bit about VTube Studio here, because like we can get like accessories, right? Man, Gaga 2.0 looks like sleep paralysis demon staring at me. I promise we're gonna read Umineko, but like I need to get this bit out of my system. Let's see. How do I load a new item? Should be able to drag and drop. See, I don't feel too bad this time because y'all got Rain to listen to. Oh, wouldn't you know? Does it blink? Did I grab the right one? Okay, that's the one I want. So how do I get rid of this weirdo? Not weirdo, that's my son. My strange, weird, nearly identical son. I guess I'll just remove both. Get out of here. Oh, I see the trash can. Okay. Oh, no! So, like, if I do... We'll get rid of... Oh, no, no, no. This bit's going on for, like, far longer than I ever thought it would. And then how do I get it, like, behind me? I want to set it on, like a different item layer. Configure loaded items. Here we go. Behind. All the way. And then rotate. We're learning. I rotate something? I've had YouTube Studio for like so many years, and like I've never really like done anything with it. Start reading. I came here to see you get traumatized. 1 second, Noobly. Alt Shift. Probably one of those, yeah. Oh. Well, it's okay. Put me back in my corner. And maybe instead I'll just put him like right here. Right here. That's good. I like that. Yeah, Mini Nietzsche. Now that's Mangaga. Migungaga. Okay. Weird model thing out of the way. George Aniki was now pretty much an adult, and I'd already been disillusioned with my dad, so the shock wasn't that big for us. But Jessica seemed to be taking it hard. Apparently she'd received a bigger blow than I thought. She always talked badly about her parents, but it looked like she hadn't changed it at all on the inside. Even now, she's still a pure-hearted, delicate person who can't doubt others. I'm sure she respected her parents as much as anyone else does. And then her parents started raging about going money, inheritance, my money. Money! Right in front of all the other parents and the children. It's no surprise she received such a shock from hearing that. Jessica-chan, please don't start hating your mother and father. Didn't she already, though? I won't ask you to understand them, but at least don't hate them. I get it. Just leave me alone for a bit. That, like, frown is really going down, you know? Like, 6 years ago, I would have kept taunting Jessica, even after she got all dejected. But I guess I really have grown over the last 6 years. I realized it'd be better to leave Jessica alone right now. Jessica suddenly looked away sulkily and left the parlor. She probably wanted to be alone for a while. I could do nothing but wordlessly watch her back as she left. Come to think of it, I wonder where Maria-chan went. Was no one watching the child that got inhabited by the spirit of Beatrice? Was nobody like, oh yeah, like I know that she was just having that spiel where she was pretending to be Beatrice or whatever, if that's what they believe. Like, excuse me? Whole room of like grown-ass adults not looking at this child who just like spoke from the spirits? She's probably pouting in front of the portrait. Maria truly looked up to the witches, and she'd expected that coming in direct contact with Beatrice and receiving the letters as proof would surprise everyone and make them happy. However, the adults had doubted its authenticity, thoroughly bombarding Maria with questions and refusing to accept her story. Even for me, it wasn't hard to imagine how much that must have hurt Maria. Nietzsche, besides Battler, they got as much awareness of Maria as people do the silence in Doctor Who when they look away. None. We couldn't speak to Maria or Jessica. In the end, George Aniki and I just abandoned ourselves to the sound of the falling rain in the dark night. I wonder what's happening with that typhoon. Maybe there's something about it on the news. George Aniki started walking over to the corner of the parlor where the television was. He hadn't called me over, and I really couldn't have cared less where the typhoon was on the sea now. So without going over to the television, I loitered around the window. The wind hasn't picked up that much here. I wonder if it's horrible over the sea. I did hear about a severe storm warning on the weather report. Kirie is like, let's talk about anything but the money, huh? Kirie-san. I take it those big talks between the adults are going smoothly, yeah? She seemed to catch the sarcasm. Kirie-san shrugged. I wonder if that stomachache of a discussion will continue all night. It's not going to be fun. Well then, please enjoy playing vultures to grandfather's property as much as you'd like. I feel sick. I agree with you on that. If I could just slip away like you, I'd do it. See, Kitty seems cool. Just like, she doesn't really hold a lot of power in the family because she's not like blood. I'm gonna move my dog. I think he's hungry. I'm gonna give him some food. What's going on? I'm gonna need a second to get my dog. Be right back real quick. Where is my... Okay, that was a fucking mission. I had to move the cat from the door, and nobody was trying to put the cat away, and then I had to calm my dog down, and now I'm here. Okay, we're good. I'll agree with you on that. If I could just slip away like you, I'd do it.
でもそうもいかない。
Unfortunately, I can't.
たとえ発言権がなく
Even
て
if I'm
も
not
ね、
allowed to speak.
パートナーも大変よ。
We spouses have it pretty rough, too. Kirie-san took a deep breath, smiling bitterly. That's right. They probably wouldn't let Kirie-san speak since she's only married into the family. Still, as Dad's partner, she had no choice but to stay by his side and support him. She's probably had to bear the full brunt of his mental pressure, much more than me. I wasn't going to apologize, but realizing that I'd spoken too harshly, I cut the sarcasm for the time being.
どんな感じなんですか?
So, how does it look?
相変わらず
Are they still stuck on the topic of the mysterious witch Beatrice? Oh, of course they are. Also, thank you, Sky, thank you.
まあね。
More or less.
あの人たちは
Those four siblings are always piling up secret agreements when they come together to discuss the division of grandfather's
兄弟4人で
inheritance.
話をまとめようとずっとそこへ未知の5人目
They're
が
saying
現れ
that
て
some unknown fifth
話を
person
や
has
やこし
appeared
く
and
し
is
ようっ
trying
て
to
言っ
make
たか
things
ら
even more
穏
complicated.
便な話なわけ
And
も
there's
ない
no
わ
way that'll make for a peaceful conversation. I've been lifting weights, curling 8-pound dumbbells 50 times. Huge! We love to hear it. Love to hear a good workout. Also, thank you, Flash.
互いを罵り合ったり
Just when you think they're snarling at each other, they'll set up a common front. Kitty is crazy bad, though, let's be real. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, maybe, like, shame on the on Rudolph as, like, the guy, but, like, he's got taste.
夏日姉さんでなくても頭痛がしてくると
Natsuya Nei-san's not the only one getting headaches. On the one hand, they all want a larger portion than the other siblings, so they're all rivals. But on the other hand, they don't want 1 yen to be snatched up by anyone other than the siblings, so they're all allies. I hadn't been told the details, but the siblings were apparently discussing how to protect their shares under various situations, setting up ceasefire agreements and rules to prevent anyone from getting an unfair advantage, even preparing to resort to legal action if absolutely necessary. He likes a tomboy, true. A terrible person can still have solid taste. The worst person you know just said something you agree with. That they would go this far to preserve their shares was so beyond disgusting that you had to acknowledge their resilience.
ってことは
So
ベ
basically,
アトリーチはじい様からの
Beatrice is like an
資格って
assassin
とこ
sent
で
by
すか
father.
ね
He probably wanted to scare the hell out of his children for talking about the inheritance without
勝手
him.
に進めてた息子たちに
何者かしらね
Who is this Beatrice, I
ベアトリー
wonder?
チェって
Yo, will the wind picking up when she said that?
自称してることが全て
I
本
wonder if
当な
everything
ら
she claims is true.
今日まで誰
Then,
にも知られず
if
にいた
everything she
謎の
claims
人
is true,
物で
she's a mystery figure
し
that
か
no
もお
one
じ
knew
い様
about
の
until
隠し
today.
黄金の存
And she
在を知
also
って
knows
い
about
て
grandfather's hidden gold. Of course they did. The worst person I know is me, and that motherfucker speaks poetry on the reg. Damn, that's crazy.
その上当主の指輪まで
On
委
top of
ねら
that,
れ
she
て
was even entrusted with the head's ring.
相当に信頼
She
され
must
た
have
人物
truly
ね
trusted him.
さすがに
Or she must have
大きい
truly
股
been
だった魔
trusted
女
by
だ
him.
とは思わないっすけど
Well, obviously, I don't think she's a witch riding around on a broom. What's wind for dramatic
でも
effect?
魔女と呼ぶに値
There's
する
no doubt
怪
she's a
人物であ
mysterious
ること
person
は
who's earned the right to be called a
間違いないっ
witch.
すね
マリアちゃんがそのあた
If
り
only
のことを
Maria
詳
Chan would
し
go
く
into more
話して
details
くれ
about
れば
that.
いいのだけどみんな小さい子に
Everyone's
が
been
つきすぎ
smothering
だ
her
わ
even though she's just a little girl.
すっかり怯えてし
It
まっ
really
て
scared her, and some things they might have asked now can't be asked.
あの人たち北風と太陽
I
とか
wonder
読
if
んだ
those
ことない
people
の
have
かし
ever
ら
even read The North Wind and the Sun.
確かなのはマリア
We
が
do know is that
ベ
Maria
アトリ
received a
ーチ
letter
と
from
名
a
乗る
person
人
who
物
took the
から
name
手紙を受
Beatrice.
け取ったこと
She sure is shy for a mystery person, entrusting Maria with the letter and hiding away
手
even
紙を
now,
託して今
when
も
she could
ど
have
こ
just
かに
appeared
身
and
を
talked
潜
to
め
us
ているってい
directly.
うシャイな怪人物ですけど
No.
ね
I think that would not be the play, especially as a stranger on an island that, like, everyone wants to kill you. Like, if someone came up and had all that and they weren't even part of the family, like, I wouldn't put it past them to be, like, ready to, like, you know, slam heads into the table and, like, take it by force. But if it's Maria, I mean, they'll still hit Maria, but they won't kill her. Tomboys or femboys? I have never really been into the whole, like, femboy thing, me personally. But I know it's like it's all obviously up to everyone's taste. So for me, tomboys all the way.
ねえバトラ君
Hey, Battler-kun,
ベアトリーチェなんて人
do you
物
really
が
think a person called Beatrice actually exists?
さあ
Who knows?
あくまでも偽名じゃな
Doesn't
い
it
ですか
really
ね
seem like a false name?
じい様の代理人として
Oh, like she's grandfather's
その妄想の
representative.
中の魔女
So
の
she was
名を
given
名乗る
permission
こ
to
とを
take the name of the
許され
witch
た
from his delusions.
とか
そうじゃなくて
No, that's not what I meant.
今このロッケン島
Right
に
now,
は
there's a total of 18 people here on
全部で
Rokkenjima.
19人目が
Do you
存
know
在
there's
す
a
る
19th person? Or do you think there's a 19th person? Are there really a full 18 people on this island right now? Wondering about that, I began counting on my fingers, and it really did come out to that many. I was about to be like, how you counting up to 20 or 18 on your fingers? But yeah, just do it again.
19人目が存在すると思う
Do I think the 19th person exists? What exactly do you
どういう
mean?
意味ですか
言葉通りの意味
Just what I said.
マリアちゃんに傘を
The
貸した
person
人
who
物
lent
は
Maria that umbrella
私たち
supposedly wasn't one of us
18人の中
18.
にはいないなら19人目
So
がい
isn't it
て
natural to assume
そ
that
の
a
人物
19th
がマリア
person
ちゃんに
exists?
傘を貸した
That
と
this
思うの
person
も
lent
妥当じゃ
Maria
ない
the umbrella?
ま
Well,
そうなりますね
Yeah, sure looks that way.
ならその人物は今
Then
どこに
where
いる
exactly is this person now? I feel like this line of deduction is like lifted straight out of Ace Attorney. From what I remember of Ace Attorney.
少なくとも雨が降り出した
At the
瞬
very
間に
least,
は
she must have
島
been
に
on the island when it started raining.
そしてその後は
And ever
どんどん
since that
天気が
time, the
悪化して
weather has grown progressively worse.
とても船なんか
So
出せ
taking
な
a
い状
boat
態
out would be pretty much impossible. It's also like man who's only ever seen one procedural crime thing says, "Oh, this really looks like that one procedural crime thing that I've seen."
となればその人物は
In
まだ
that case,
島の
that
中
person
にい
must
て
still be on the island,
どこ
hiding
か
from the
で
rain
雨宿り
somewhere,
をしていなくてはならない私たち誰の目に
and
も
without
触れ
any
ず
of us spotting her.
確かに
True.
俺たち
We've
は
all been randomly
屋敷や
prowling
ゲストハウ
around
ス
all
の
over the
中を
mansion
勝手
and
に
the
動
guest
き回って
house,
ましたが
but no one has bumped into the
誰も
19th
19人目
person.
なんかには会ってないわけ
This island is
でもまあ
huge.
屋敷やゲストハウ
There
ス
might
以
be
外
other
に
places to take
雨宿
shelter
りできる
from
と
on
こ
the
ろ
rain,
なんてあるのか
other than the mansion and the guest house. At about that time, I began to realize what direction Kirie-san's suspicions were taking us in. Kirie-san was denying that a 19th person existed. Beatrice was one of us 18. Yeah. Someone could have... Yeah. In other words, she thought someone we knew was tricking us.
ベアトリーチェが自称する通り
If
なら
Beatrice is who she claims,
その
she
人
would
物は
surely
間
be
違
the,
いなく
the most
最高
honored
の賓
guest.
客よ
That's me with Umineko and Ace Attorney. Mm-hmm.
おじい様が信頼する最高の福
If
祉
Beatrice is who she claims, she would surely be one of the most honored guests, the most honored of confidants, trusted by grandfather.
そんな人物をおじい
There's
様
no
が
way
歓待し
grandfather
ないわ
wouldn't
け
give
が
that
ない
kind of person a warm reception.
お屋敷に迎
She
え
would
入れな
surely
い
have
わ
been
け
ushered
が
into
な
the
い
mansion.
でも
However, we haven't
私た
seen
ち
anyone
は
like that.
誰も
待ってくださいよ
Wait a sec.
そ
Isn't
れは
that
ちょい
line
と
of reasoning a
請
bit
求
too
な推理
hasty?
じゃないですか確かに誰の目にも触れてはいないけ
Surely
ど
no one spotted this person, but that doesn't mean that you can deny the possibility that a 19th person exists, right?
何かの理由があって
Maybe for some reason they landed on the island
こっそ
stealthily
り
and
上陸して
have been hiding ever since. It's what you call
悪魔
a
の証明
devil's
っ
proof.
てやついることを証明する
It's
のは
easy to
たや
prove
すい
that something exists.
ベアトリーチェってやつ
If
が
this Beatrice
俺たち
appears in
の
front
前
of
に
us
現
all
れ
and
て
says
挨拶
hi,
すりゃ
then it's
解
settled.
決するでも
But it's impossible to
19
prove
人
that
目が
there's
い
no
ないことを
19th
証明す
person.
るのは不可能っすよ
Yes.
バトラ君の推理の仕方
Adler-kun,
は
your way
悪
of
くない
reasoning isn't bad.
現在の状況
In
で
our
は
current situation, there isn't enough information to either accept or deny that a 19th person
否定するにも情
exists.
報が足りないでもね
But if you spin the chessboard around and think it that way, we can deny the existence of a
ほぼ
19th person with
19
near
人目はあ
certainty.
りえないって断言できちゃうのよ
Spin the chessboard around was one of Kirie-san's favorite phrases. I mean, it's a pretty good phrase. I've been influenced by those words and used them myself from time to time. When you get stuck trying to find a move in chess or shogi, then by spinning the board around and looking at everything from your opponent's standpoint, you can often see a strategy that will give you the upper hand. That is smart. Like low-key, high-key, like you'd be looking at the board in that perspective and being like, oh yeah, I wouldn't want my opponent to do this to me because that'd suck. Yeah, it means turning things around and putting yourself in the opponent's shoes.
いい
You see?
仮に19
Let's
人
say
目
that
の
a
人
19th
物とし
person
て
called Beatrice
ベアト
actually
リーチェの
exists.
実在その人物は
That person must
誰
have
にも知ら
managed
れること
without being
な
seen
く
by anyone
こ
to
っそ
stealthily
りと
arrive
こ
on
の
the
島に
island
上
and
陸
remain
し
hidden ever
ず
since.
っと何かの理由があって
Maybe they had some reason, okay?
なら
In that case, why did they go to all the trouble of appearing before Maria and handing her the letter? It really was a contradiction. If they had some reason for hiding themselves, then they should have stayed hidden the whole time. But even so, they had appeared openly in front of Maria.
それは
Then...
ほら
Wait,
マリアも言ってた
Maria said it herself.
メッセンジャーにさ
She
れた
said the witch
って言
made
って
her
た
a
じゃないですか
messenger.
マリアが一番
Maybe that's
年下
because
で
Maria was the
素直そうだ
youngest
った
and
からじゃ
looked the most obedient.
メッセンジャーなんて必要
Why
ない
would they need a messenger?
手紙を親族
If they
会
just
議の
wanted a
席
letter
上に送
delivered
り
to
た
the
かった
family
ら
conference, they would have
郵送
mailed
す
it.
ればいいだけの話よ
It ain't Aura, though.
4人の兄
You
弟
got an
全員
Aura
に
farm
郵
in
送
front
す
of the
れば
rich people.
黙殺することもできない
If they mailed it to each of the 4 siblings, no one would have been able to ignore it.
手紙を持参して
There was no
こっそ
need
り
for this
手渡
person
す
to
理由がない
carry it themselves and secretly deliver it by hand.
確かになんだか
That
おかしな
really
話っすね
does sound pretty weird.
そもそもベアトリー
In
チ
the
ェが
first
存
place,
在
if
してい
Beatrice
て
existed and
そ
wanted
の
to make her
存在をア
presence
ピー
known
ル
to
したいな
everyone,
ら
then she could
み
have
んな
just
の前
openly
に堂
presented
々と
herself to
姿
all
を
of
現
us.
せばいいだけの話なのに現れず
Despite that, she chose the vague method of appearing through a little girl called
お
Maria-chan.
ぼろげな輪
And
郭
only
だけ
gave
で
us
そ
a
の
vague
存在
impression
を
of
主
who
張
she
しようと
was.
する矛盾
Contradiction.
もっと考えて
Let's go a little deeper, shall we?
マリアちゃんの前に
She
姿を
appeared in front of
現し
Maria, trying to give us the impression that a 19th person existed, and yet she still hasn't appeared before us and is hiding somewhere at this very moment. Think about those contradictions. You've got to keep these things in mind when you spin the chessboard around.
つまり19人目の人物としてベア
In
トリ
short,
ー
if
チ
a
ェが
person
いる
wants to leave us
と
with the
印象づ
impression
け
that
たい
Beatrice
人物の
exists,
目論みは何か
what
よ
might their goal be?
姿を隠したい人物なら
This person wanted to hide, they wouldn't have made their presence known.
そして
And if they wanted to show themselves, they wouldn't have used the roundabout approach of
手
entrusting
紙を
someone with
託
a
すなん
letter.
て遠回りってことは
Which means... I mean, I'm saying, like, they probably don't want to show themselves because they think they're gonna die. But probably not, because if they're presenting themselves as Beatrice, then, like, it's implied that everyone else is gonna die. She could be rich and powerful. People are eccentric sometimes. Yeah, could be. Yeah, rich too. I mean, it is her goal, technically, right? So...
簡単よ
It's simple.
ベアトリーチェは18
Beatrice is
人の
one of
中
the
に
18
いるのよ
people.
だからこそ
That's why they want to create the illusion that there's more than 18 people. The 19th person was revealed so spectacularly.
それで得をするのは
If someone were to profit from this, it wouldn't be some 19th person in hiding.
すでにいる18
It'd be
人の
one of the
方だ
original 18 people.
もちろんこの推理は穴だらけ
Of course, this reasoning is full of holes.
いくつかの前提がひっく
If you
り返
turn
るだ
over
け
even a
で
few of its
すぐに
premises, it
崩れ
simply
る脆
falls
いもの
apart.
だけど
Are we going to be playing Among Us on this island? Are we going to be playing some Goose Goose Duck?
私はほぼ間違いないと見てるわ
But I'm almost certain it's correct. This is starting to feel pretty creepy. Someone lent Maria the umbrella and handed her the letter. Supposedly none of the 18 did this. And yet Beatrice was hidden among the 18. What was this person planning, hiding their true form and pretending to be Beatrice?
マリアちゃんの自作自演も疑
I
ったんだけ
suspected it
ど
might have been Maria-chan play
文章の内
acting,
容が
but the
非常に
contents of the
手が込ん
message
で
were
て
extremely complicated,
マリアちゃんが
and it's hard to
自前で
imagine
用意したと
Maria-chan writing that
考え難い
herself. Loading up Goose Goose Duck with Umineko mods. Can I be... Who do I want to be? I mean, Battler seems cool. I don't know if I'm a Battler, though. Give me Maria-chan and I will ooh everywhere. If I was rich enough, I'd hire the Umineko voice cast and force them to play Umineko. I suspect it might have been Maria-chan play acting, but the contents of the message were extremely complicated, and it's hard to imagine Maria-chan writing that herself.
でもマリアちゃんが
However,
何
I
者
can't
か
deny
と
the
共謀してい
possibility
る
that
可能性も
Maria-chan is
否定
working
できない
together
わ
with someone.
おいおい
Wait a sec. Maria's a 9-year-old kid, right?
誰と何を
What could she
共謀する
possibly
って
be
んだよ
planning, and with whom?
しかも愚直で真面目で
What about her
素直な
straightforward,
勝負だぜ
overly honest, obedient nature? Feel like I give off Battler energy. Not sure if that's good or bad, though. I see it, Sky. Honestly, I do see it. Maybe, like, if I had to pick someone... If I had to pick someone on the cast that I could maybe see myself as... Probably, I don't know Hideyoshi's deal, but maybe Hideyoshi a little bit. Or George. Or I don't know, fuck, maybe even Kirie. Who would I be though? Archelaus would be Rudolph or Archelaus. I don't know though. Maybe. No, I see it. I see it. Yes, I also understand what kind of person Maria-chan is. But that's exactly why I think it's possible. See, I really fuck with Kirie. She's out here speculating the way I was like speculating playing Trails Beyond the Horizon. Or like literally any other game where I'm like, but what if it could be them? Or what if it could be them? That girl's a dreamer who can't help but look up to and blindly accept the existence of witches. So if a person appeared in front of her and claimed to be the Witch of Beatrice, Maria-chan would happily swallow it up, I think. You're saying that if someone disguised themselves by wearing the fancy dress from the portrait, tricking Maria wouldn't be that hard. Kirie is one of us. Of course, that's reasoning. All of us women would be. Of course, with that reasoning, all of us women would become the primary suspect. I don't know. What if Rudolph kind of hit the crazy Beatrice voice? Anyways, who did Maria-chan encounter? Learning the details of that question would be the best key to solving this riddle. But this key has been firmly locked away inside Maria-chan's heart. Everyone denied the existence of the witch without listening to her, barraging her too much with questions about who Beatrice actually was. She probably wouldn't open her heart to the adults now. Is this Kirie appealing to Battler to press Maria for more information? In the dim hall in front of the portrait of Beatrice, Maria was sobbing. Man. No one believes I met Beatrice. Even though I showed them the letter Beatrice gave, they still don't believe. Yeah, right? Anyways, Maria-chan's holding the key. The key to whether Beatrice is one of the 18 people or 19th person. Maria's stubborn, right? When that girl gets angry, it's pretty hard to make her feel better. Battler-kun, I think a kid like you would be better at cheering her up than an adult like me. After she's feeling better, try asking. I know you don't care about all this back and forth about the inheritance. But don't you find this Western Mansion mystery situation exciting? I need a light novel spin-off with Detective Kirie. Who in the world is this person who gave Maria-chan the letter? I can imagine like Kirie being like the type to go through all this and also have like fucking dual holstered like 9mm like dual holster like M1911s like underneath that coat. Like she's like low-key a badass. She gives that energy to me for some reason. I got the distinct impression Kirie is gonna die a horrible, terrible death and I'll cry. Kirie is probably like my favorite of like the adults. Makes your intellectual curiosity ache. You're actually pretty tough considering you're still excited after being dragged through that endless money talk. Adults can be pretty amazing. I shrugged exasperately. But I did notice something. Kirie noticed how dejected I was after overhearing our parents' turbulent discussion, and was probably trying to clear the air. At the very least, I'd recovered enough to voice my complaints. She wasn't my real mother, so I never felt like calling her mom. But it did make me think she's a real adult. Kirie seems like the type to go out in a blaze of glory like the female lead in a zombie movie. Hey brats, so this is where you were. Kirie, you really took your time fixing your makeup, didn't you? I think I'll make a habit of going out to touch up my makeup too. I'm sorry. A woman's makeup takes a long time. So? How has the discussion been without me? Sure everything was all
さ
peaceful
ぞ
and
や
harmonious.
和気あいあいとしてるだろう。
Kirie-san poked the weak spot under my arm with her elbow.
一度頭を冷やそうってことで
Decided to take a break to cool our heads a little.
こりゃ夜通しにな
Looks
り
like
そ
we'll
う
be
です
at it all night.
泣けてくれ。
Makes me want to cry. Want to cry? The Nijira... what's the artist's name again? It's like Nijira... it's such a weird full name. Niji... I think it's just Nina Jirachi. Nina Jirachi. The Nina Jirachi Porter Robinson collab Wanna Cry? His way of talking hadn't changed, but he couldn't completely hide his fatigue. I couldn't say I was sympathetic, but he looked pitiful compared to his normal energetic self.
しかしひでえ雨だな。
Still, that rain's just awful.
ゲストハウスに
I
も
really don't want to go back to the guest house.
夏日姉さんが屋敷で泊
It
まれ
looks
る
like
よう準備して
Natsu-san
くれたら
set
しい
things up so we would spend all night here in the mansion.
どうする？
What do we do?
3階になった時
We
に
don't
考え
need
て
to
もい
decide
いんじゃ
until
な
we're
い？
done, right? Or you're done, right?
部屋に戻る体力も
If
な
you
くな
run
って
so
た
low on
ら
energy that you
その
can't
時は
return
お
to
世
our
話にな
room,
りましょ
then
う
we'll
よ。
take them up on their offer.
そうだね。
You're right.
その時に考え
We can think about it later.
バトラーはどうする？
What about you, Battler?
俺がいちゃお邪魔だ
If
ろ
I
うから
stayed,
な
I'd just get in the way.
気使って
It'd be nice to go back over there.
そうか。
I see.
すぐ戻るのか。
Will you go back soon?
さあな。
I don't know.
一人で戻っ
It'd
て
be
って
lonely to
寂
head
しい
back
し
by
な。
myself.
子供全員で揃
I'll
って帰る
gather
こ
all
と
the
にする
kids
ぜ
and we'll head out.
そうだな。
Okay,
そうするといい。
you go do that.
それで、バトラー
Also, Battler,
お前、
you won't be going to
今夜
sleep
は
that
そう
easily
は
tonight,
簡
right?
単には寝ない多分、いとこたち
Yeah,
とおしゃ
I'll
べりしてる
probably
だろうから
up
な。
talking with the cousins.
夜更かししそうな
Sounds
気
like we'll
配は
all
あ
be
るぜ。
we'll be up all night.
それがどうかしたの
Is there
か
a problem with that?
そうか。
I see.
もし、
If you're still awake when the adults' discussion is
お
over,
前がまだ起きて
I want to have a little talk as a
ちょ
family.
いと家族でしてる話なんだ。
Right? It's because Kirie gave him the stare. Rudolph has to actually do something about talking to his family now, because he was keeping all this shit to himself.
なんだよ。
Oh, what?
柄にもねえな
That。doesn't sound like you. Apparently Kirie-san was thinking the same thing. What are you talking about? She asked him in a small voice. It looked like Kirie-san didn't have a clue what Dad meant either.
キリエにも聞いてもらいたい
I
話だ。
also want to talk about you. I also want to talk to you about it, Kirie.
後で話すから。
I'll tell you later, so don't ask now.
頼む。
Please. I don't know anyone who neglects the concept of family as much as this old bastard. And now he's saying we're gonna have a talk as a family. Both Kirie-san and I couldn't help but get wide-eyed.
そうビビった顔すんなよ。
Don't look so terrified.
ビビりてえのは
I'm the
俺の
one who
方
should be
だ。
terrified.
何しろ。
After all. At that point, he swallowed his words for an instant. Even though putting on airs of importance wasn't much like my dad.
気持ち悪いぜ、親父。
You're freaking me out, Dad.
今、家族は
Everyone
全
in
員
our
揃って
family
るじゃねえ
gathered.
かよ。
Everyone in our family's gathered here now, right?
もったいぶらずにいい
Don't make a
よ。
big deal out of it and spit it out. I mean, it's gotta
俺は多分、
deal with the way his family is in trouble without getting the scold. Because that's kind of what I'm getting from this. Or what if he's sick? Probably.
今夜、殺
I
され
will
る。
probably be killed. Oh? There was a huge crash of thunder. It must have been really close. Dad's expression, brightly illuminated by the lightning, was burned into my eyes. Dad's face, which always looked so sure of itself, which always wore a taunting expression, was strangely frail in a way I couldn't really explain. It was so worn out that he looked like a different person.
はは
What?
何言ってん
What
だ
are
よ。
you talking
でも
about?
ね
That doesn't sound like you.
同感よ。
I agree.
どうしたの？
What happened? You look so timid all of a sudden.
あなたらしくもない
It's。not like you.
俺も化粧直しに行って
I'm
く
gonna
る。
go fix my makeup too.
ついてくんないよ。
Don't follow me. He's gonna be the first one dead. Dad turned away weakly. After that, only Kirie and I were left still wide-eyed.
なんだってんだ。
What did he say?
今夜殺
Tonight
さ
he'll
れ
be
る
killed?
まさか。
You don't think that mysterious
あの
letter
妙な
scared
手
him,
紙
do
のせい
you?
で連続殺人者
He's
の
been
映画
watching
の
too many
見過ぎ
serial
だ
murder
ぜ。
movies. Kirie-san didn't answer my lighthearted words and continued to stare at my dad's disappearing back.
バトラ君はルドルフさんに
You know what I can't help but always think about when I see Kirie-san's outfit? Oh, you know what? No. It's hard for me to tell. But, like, those, like, diamonds on the bottom right of, or the bottom left of her, like, shirt, are those cut-ins or are those, like, embroidered onto the shirt? Because it's, like, the same flesh color. And it'd be a very weird outfit to be, like, cut-ins, but I can't help but think about it. Also, oh, shit, you're right. It's the rarity cutie mark. You're so right, Noobly. Wait, is that why I like her? Kirie looks like a fake character, one of the Magus. Embroidered, I think. Okay. Shout out Rarity, My Little Pony. My goat. My favorite of the main 6. Looks like a shadow, so it's a cutout. That's what, see, that it's so hard to tell. Because, like, I can see a little bit of, like, shadowing on the top and the left, but not on the right. So, like, I don't know. I do not know. It could just be the angle, but let someone be wishful and think it's a cutout. Battler-kun, when you told Rudolph-san to spill the beans right away, he left without telling us anything. Even though he said he had something to say to both of us, he didn't answer you. Why? Spin the chessboard around. What do you see? Well, when he said he wanted to talk, but then couldn't, that's a contradiction. What can you... what? Can you see something by looking from Dad's perspective? We need that Kitty and midriff. Rosa's most likely Rarity. I could see it. Yes, I can see something. He wants to talk about something. However, he doesn't have the courage to bring it up. So he actually means chase after me, talk to me, and ask me about it yourself. By saying, don't follow me, he actually means the opposite. He actually means follow me and force me to answer. We're a bunch of dirty old men, true. Seriously, what a spoiled brat. Yo, the Rudolph correction arc? You really call that reasoning? That's ridiculous. Can great private and police detectives deduce the emotions and feelings between men and women? Huh. Wait, is Kitty a police detective? What's going on with her? They can't, right? Figuring out the feelings of the opposite sex is an even more advanced art than exposing the trick in difficult crime cases. Okay, no. She's gonna correct them. If you ask me, romance novels have much deeper mysteries than masterpiece mystery novels. I see. Is that how it is? I'll stand alongside that spoiled brat. He normally loves to bluff, but tonight, he's completely tired out from that heated discussion. He probably wants someone to lean on at that moment. And responding to that need is the role of his partner. Sounds passionate. Then I'll leave that old bastard in your hands. Yeah, leave it to me. I called out to Kirie-san's departing back. What? I just wanted to say thanks. Kirie would love the apothecary. You know what? True. That's what I'm getting from Kirie, 100%. It's given like heavy Mao Mao deductive vibes, no? Thanks to you, my gloomy mood has cleared up a lot. That's good. Communication's important. After answering with a wink, Kirie-san followed after my dad. Natsuki could be found in a dimly lit hallway. Now and then the thunder would crash, but this had no effect on Natsuki's expression. She looked completely worn out. The discussion that had just taken place between the relatives in the dining hall was repeating itself inside Natsuki's mind. Yeah, Natsuki's in a rough spot. If I had to put like an order of like favorites to non-favorites, like I think Kirie is like right on top, and then Natsuki kind of gets like the pity vote, Because, like, man, she's really going through it. Like, no one is treating her with respect. So it's kind of like a little bit of a pity vote to put her up there. Of, like, the people who, like, do and don't suck. And then everyone else is at the bottom. Beatrice had proclaimed that in addition to the gold, all the inheritance property of the Ushidamiya family would be given to the person who could solve the riddle. In other words, she planned to undermine the absolute guarantee that Kraus, as the oldest brother, had to succeed the family head. Originally, the other siblings had absolutely no chance to inherit the headship. To them, this proposal to Beatrice was extremely desirable. It was obvious that they would accept it. There was no need to play some clumsy detective game. Natsuhi knew that this so-called 19th person, Beatrice, couldn't exist. Naturally, Beatrice was nothing more than a fictional character used to pass a message that Kinzo himself wrote. As proof, Kinzo had remained stubbornly neutral as to that letter's authenticity. He was completely ignoring these reckless claims that he shouldn't be able to ignore, that he'd given up the head's ring. In short, Kinzo had wordlessly admitted that the letter held his own message. Most likely one of the servants had given Maria the letter. Kinzo had probably worked out an elaborate plan where the dress from the portrait would be prepared. And someone, probably Shannon, would be made to deliver it to wear it and deliver the letter and the umbrella. By doing that, he could make it seem like the witch from the portrait actually existed. If anything, that alone was proof that Kinzo was behind all this. In that case, it was the same as Kinzo trying to butt in on the siblings' private discussion. And Kinzo, by announcing that he'd give everything to the person who solved the riddle, could weaken Kraus's overwhelming advantage. Now it was certain. Kinzo had eavesdropped on the siblings' discussion in the parlor earlier that day. So he had known how Kraus had staved off the attack by the other three. And to make the scales of the battle go back into balance, he had sent out this strange letter which benefited Kraus's rivals. He was trying to push this crazy theory so that Rosa, who had a weak position among the siblings because of her age, would join with Eva and Rudolph. Then with a 3-to-1 advantage, they'd be able to overwhelm Kraus yet again, and make their ridiculous theories get accepted by force. And by doing that, he gave them the power to resettle what had been a nearly decided conflict. They had now started repeatedly pressing Kraus to pay them a large amount of money, using the condition that all the siblings would guarantee Kraus's position as successor. Talk about advance payments was being brought up again, despite having been rejected once. Of course, even without the story about the hidden gold, the Ushidamiya family's store of wealth was vast. That store of wealth alone was more than enough. Even if the hidden gold was buried forever, along with Kinzo's death, there would be more than enough to satisfy. Therefore, even if they weren't that interested in the gold itself, Kinzo had managed to instill the lifelong fear that, on the off chance that someone found the gold, that person would be granted the headship. And that kind of Achilles heel would definitely be taken advantage of by someone sooner or later. The only person with this fatal weakness was the successor, Kraus. The other siblings had found... No, they had been told by Kinzo about something that only Kraus could lose, and they had thoroughly taken advantage of that. Natsuhi, as Kraus's only ally in his painful position and as his wife, wanted to fight alongside him, but she got fucking pushed away, man. She kept trying to explain to him that the existence of the gold itself was a farce, and that there was no need for him to compromise. Kraus had always told Natsuhi. He had told all of the siblings. He always said that the hidden gold was nothing more than an illusion created by Kinzo. Therefore, Natsuhi had believed it as his wife, and had supported her husband on that foundation. Even so, Natsuhi's words didn't reach Kraus. Even though Natsuhi had fought so hard and had lent all of her strength, he continued to fight by himself and was trying to compromise with the other three siblings. Natsuhi sadly and weakly wondered why she could not be of use to him, then started getting angry. It had happened when everyone decided to take a short break to cool their heads. Natsuhi had flared up against Kraus. Enraged, she had asked why she could not be useful to him. He had then told her that he wanted to talk about something and invited her into a room that she was normally not allowed to enter. That room had been sealed with a heavy-looking padlock, and just looking at it had given her an uncomfortable feeling.
他の3人の言うこともベアトリーチェを名乗る不審
There's
人
no
物
need
の
for you
言う
to
こと
worry
も
about anything said
何
by
も
those
気にかけ
three,
ることはあり
or
ませ
even the
ん
suspicious person who calls herself Beatrice.
黄金など所詮は
After all, the
お父
gold is
様
just
が
a
生み出
ruse
した
created
ま
by
やかし
father.
それを見つけられるこ
There's
と
no
など
way
あ
something
るわ
like
け
that
が
could be
ない
found.
あなたが後継ぎであることは盤石です
Your position as the successor is a solid fact. It's a bit here, but I like how Nazi is a deconstruction of the Japanese ideal woman.
何を恐れること
What
が
are
あ
you
るの
afraid
で
of?
す
Rouse removed the padlock on the door. He then motioned for Natsu to enter.
入りたまえ
Enter.
何
What
で
is
すか
this?
見せたいものが
There's something I want you to see.
君に初めて見
I've
せ
never
る
shown you this before. Imagine it's just straight up the gold. Natsu timidly opened the door with a dubious expression on her face. It was pitch black. She searched for a switch to turn on the lights, but since this was her first time in the room, she didn't know where it was. Kraus entered behind her, pushing her in, and when he closed the door before turning on the lights, the two were swallowed up by the darkness. Only the sound of Kraus locking the door rang out through the dark.
これは
What are you doing?
明かりは
The lights.
今つける
I'm turning them on now.
待ちたまえ
Wait. Just as he said, when Kraus pushed a switch on the wall, a flickering light turned on and lit up the room.
それは
That is... Natsui had her breath taken away. The room had no windows, and at a glance it appeared to be empty. In the middle of the room, a small round table had been set. And the lights brightened only on that table, as if it were the leading part in a play. Is it gonna be like a single gold ingot? On top of the table, a red tablecloth of elaborate design had been set out, covered with dust. And on top of that, something about the size of a grown man's arm had been set down. That something took Natsui's breath away. Ah, yeah. Fuck, man. The size of an
凄まじい重量を
arm?
持つ黄金のインゴットだよ
That is big as fuck. That's so big. I'm looking at my arm right now, and if I had an ingot that big, like... Holy shit. Eating a graham cracker. I didn't eat dinner because I was playing Zomboid. Imagine a golden dildo wall. I don't know. Something about the idea of like a cold metal entering you does not sound fun. It's a gold ingot of incredible purity.
こいつがなければ
Without this, no one would have believed in the legend of the gold. It was an ingot of solid gold. Even in the faint light, it sparkled with a noble and dignified glint.
こいつはまともなインゴ
This
ッ
is
ト
not a proper ingot.
このインゴッ
I
トを
don't even
鋳造
know
したの
whether
は
it was cast
国内
inside or
なのか
outside the
国
country.
外なのか
That's probably because you're a mostly straight dude, Nietzsche. True. I wouldn't want anything entering me, but I don't know. Just the thought of metal itself is like, time to pack it up and go back home with one. Like that's still a lot of money. It took a high level. It took a high level. Blah, blah, blah. It took a high level of skill to make the purest of solid gold ingots. As in order to verify that purity, it was standard to have the original foundry and the name of the bank that guaranteed it's imprinted on the gold. Wait, but question mark? What do you mean, Jeremy? Did I say but? The expense alone is shape that will be wild? Yeah, right? However, this ingot did not have that kind of seal. Yeah, they'd be hoarding this shit like dragons. Like a dragon? This mysterious gold bar had come from an unknown foundry.
ここを見たまえ
Look here.
あり得ることは
There's nothing to be afraid of.
こいつはただ
It's
の
just a bar of
金塊だ
gold. Natsui, following Krause's words, timidly approached the ingot.
そこだ
Right there. Krause pointed at the surface of the ingot. Natsui concentrated on that section. Right there was the thin imprint of the one-winged eagle's crest. Yep. Well, I mean... It could still be a ploy. Natsu's breath was taken away once again. That's right. This is the legendary ingot that father said he received from the witch. That the president of Marusa witnessed and was allowed to select at random to take back with him. Imagine that 99% gold coated. Yeah, it's just like a... This is like chocolate under that. That gained the trust of the fixers in the business world. I had to use all possible means to find it. I found it before the other siblings could. How could... Then... The legend of Father's gold is... It actually exists. The gold that Ushirimiya Kinzo received from Beatrice actually exists. Impossible. But... Is it only this one that they have? So it really does exist. Natsuya was shocked. Kraus had always said that Kinzo's gold was just a fabrication, so she had believed it as his wife. However, the reality was different. God, Kraus really is a piece of shit, huh? Because, like, he was keeping this from his wife of all people, too? This entire time? And only now, after, like, I don't know. Kraus sucks. Or the reality was different. Since he held definite proof, he had been more than certain than any other sibling that the legend of the gold was true. Because of this, Kraus was deeply frightened at the possibility that someone other than him would find the gold he'd failed to find, costing him everything. But to Natsuya, this truth was more than enough to split open her heart. She had thought that as Kraus's wife, she should be his closest confidant, which is why she had selflessly supported him. And yet, he had hid this fact from her until today. Yeah, like, nah, I'd crash the fuck out. I would crash the fuck out. Like, nobody knows about this room? Like, Kraus ain't leaving this room. Hit him over the head with the 99.99% ingot. Why? Have I been so undeserving of your trust? I didn't mean it like that. It was only that there was no need to mention it. Is that all a wife means to you? Calm down. Becoming passionate easily is one of your bad habits. I want to fucking bludgeon this man. He has no fucking right to be policing her emotions after doing all this. More women should murder their husbands? True. How would you explain him disappearing, Nietzsche? I wouldn't. I'd just say, I don't know. Kinda weird. He walked off without me into the jungle. Maybe he's looking for the gold. You're the one who was making me like that, aren't you? I've been supporting you as a wife ever since I married into this family. For your sake, I threw away the family I was born into. And I've been offering up my heart and my body to serve you. And in return, this is what I get? How could you? Kraus grimaced, looking annoyed. His expression effectively communicated how much he disliked this part of Natsuhi, even if he didn't say it out loud. It doesn't look like I'll be of any use to you anymore. That's fine. Fuck you, man! Oh my god, he sucks! He might be the worst sibling. I can resolve the troubles with the siblings myself. I don't need your help. That's wrong. This is the Ushirimiya family's problem. It's true that I am not permitted to wear the family crest on my own body. Natsuhi, you deserve fucking better, man. Worse than Rosa? Yeah. I think... Hold on, do these two have kids? They're Jessica's parents, right? I mean, they may not be physically, like, abusive like they are, like Rosa is to Maria, but, I mean, all forms of abuse exist. I feel like they kind of just straight up do not give a shit about Jessica. I'm a simp, so I'm always team women. I mean, true, Sky. And it's also kind of nice to be right. And most of the time, it's the women that are right. But I'm still your wife. Even so, you're saying I'm not capable of helping you. Are you... I especially wouldn't want to risk getting you involved. It would probably make your headaches even worse than they are now. Take a rest for today. The siblings will deal with the siblings' problems. It has nothing to do with you. I mean, it's like, it really is like pick your poison. Because, like, what is worse? And this truly is like a tough question for me to like come to terms with on what I would perceive as worse. To be completely and totally emotionally neglectful of your child, or to love your child but also at times be physically abusive. Because both of them are absolute dog shit, but I don't know, man. Yeah, they care. They sent her to a normal school instead of St. Lucia Academy. Yeah, people used to spank their kids, so let's just go with that one. Second is worse, I think. Feelings make healing harder. Yeah. It has nothing to do with you. That's all. Yeah, being entirely distant just fucks you up. I mean, all of it fucks you up. I think if I had to pick... This is crazy to say. If I had to pick my abuse, I'd rather get beat and know that I'm loved. Like if my girlfriend beat me, so be it. Of course I wouldn't want it, but... A dull headache tormented Natsuhi. No matter what medicine she took, no matter what scent she burned, it wouldn't heal. In fact, simply wandering alone through the dark corridors and listening to the sound of the rain seemed to be a better cure. I may be Natsuhi, but I was never Ushirimiya Natsuhi. Oh. So we're doing perspective shifts. I wonder when we can tell, like, a perspective a shift. Because, like, I figured, like, yeah, it'd be weird if Battler knew about all this if we were, like, doing the Battler perspective. But I guess we're viewing a lot of different characters' views if we're doing this first-person view Natsuhi now. Honestly, I've been verbally abused, wish so often I was beaten instead. I'm sorry to hear that. If your girl ain't willing to actually just kill you, are you sure she really even loves you? Consensual toxic. Oh yeah. It's tough, because, like, at least with physical, there's proof. You know? And that's the big thing. I've been despised and treated as a borrowed womb, and insulted when I couldn't even fill that role. Even so, I've tried to properly perform my duties as a wife. But now even my husband has rejected me. I've done my best raising my daughter, as if it were the last job left to me. However, I had no release for my anger and sadness, and they've caused me to subconsciously strain that relationship too. Because I've been excessively strict in Jessica's education, she dislikes me thoroughly. She despises me for having no interest in anything but grades. There is no longer anything I can do for the Yoshimiya family. I mean, she would do everyone a fucking favor if she just killed everyone. I would let her kill everyone in the Yoshimiya family, maybe besides the kids. Yeah, you can physically abuse and not leave marks if you know how. Yeah, but then that's so, truly, incredibly evil if you're getting to that point. You know? I mean, all abuse is evil, but, when you literally put thought into it, to the point where, oh, I'm gonna do this and nobody's gonna know, that's grounds for, the worst punishment possible. Those people don't deserve life. No, that's no good. Despite it all, I must help my husband and beat back the schemes of the other greedy siblings. The family head won't be around much longer. Eventually, Kraus will succeed the head. And the next successor will be Jessica. Strictly speaking, the man who enters the family by marrying Jessica will become the next head. But it all comes to the same thing. I have to make Jessica an excellent successor, whom everyone will accept as worthy to take over the Yoshimiya family. Bro, I know you're troubled, Natsuhi, but he is not gonna change for you. Just kill him. In the days to come, that greedy Yoshimiya Eva will probably be plotting to find some fault with the main family. And if all goes as she plans, Jessica will be dragged down for the succession, with George set up in her place. It is regrettable, but George is a man, and even more, has matured as a person. Compared to Jessica, who was right in the middle of her rebellious period, and whose grades are slightly below average, it can be seen at a glance who is more fit to succeed the head. The punishment's permanent vertigo? I mean, I don't think that's enough. On the spinning machine. We're getting there, we're getting close. So in order to secure Jessica's position, I need to turn her into an excellent person. After doing that, I want to find her an excellent husband worthy of the excellent person she will become. A wonderful man who will truly accept Jessica and stay with her through all of life's joys and sorrows. Man, Natsuhi is really projecting herself onto Jessica. That's so sad. She's trying to give Jessica what she wants, and in doing so, it's harming her relationship with Jessica. That's so sad. Was Natsuhi trying to entrust her daughter? Wait, we switch perspectives again? Is she talking about herself in the third person? Was Natsuhi trying to entrust her daughter with fulfilling some desire of her own? Natsuhi thought back to the days when she'd had no choice but to marry into the Yoshimiya family, because of that unavoidable fate. She had tried to block that from her memory. She had consciously forgotten it, and had actively attended to the life she'd been given as the Yoshimiya Natsuhi. Kraus has got some deep darkness. What do you mean? I have episodes of debilitating vertigo where I can't even get out of bed without throwing up. It's a suitable punishment. Fair. And in doing so, she had built up a new life. But just now, I felt like all of that had been casually rejected. How should I think as I live my life? I don't know. Natsuhi helplessly rested her head against the glass of the window. The glass, which was cool thanks to the raindrops beating against it, felt somehow refreshing, even though it should have been emotionless. Right then, it seemed to be the only thing that could understand Natsuhi. At that point, even if someone had appeared, Natsuki didn't intend to pay any attention to them. But she did pay attention. Because it was her beloved daughter. No, man, this is gonna fucking suck. Jessica's gonna, like, lay into her. She doesn't know. She's gonna lay into Natsuki right now while she's at her weakest. Oh, it's you, Mom. What the heck are you doing in a place like this? Thought you were a ghost. Or maybe Jessica knows. Maybe Jessica is, like, goated with the emotional intelligence. Just like always, her words were rough and not at all like a girl's. Instinctively, words of rebuke rose to Natsuki's throat. However, their strength gave out and they didn't escape her lips. Jessica. Forgive me, but my headache is awful. Please leave me be. I see. Jessica was seeing her mother in a position of feebleness for the first time, so she was considerably disconcerted. Until now, she'd been filled with contempt for all the parents, including her mother. But now those feelings have been completely swept away. Let's fucking go! Natsuki can be saved. I believe in her. Please, please let us save Natsuki. She does not deserve to be here. Her mother's utterly exhausted face had wiped them all out. In its place, the words George had told her floated back up in her mind. Our parents are doing their best in their own way. And because their families are counting on them, they can't afford to keep everything pleasant and have a heavy responsibility to fight. Maybe her mother had been standing around in this dimly lit hallway because no one had tried to understand that in her. Jessica hated her mother, so she had no intention of speaking kindly to Natsuki just because she was looking a bit frail. So when she attempted to speak kindly to her mother anyways, she had to clench her fist and gather up the words from deep in her heart. It sounds like you really got your hands full with that meeting thing. It has nothing to do with you. Please go somewhere else. Is your headache bad? Should I go get some medicine? You don't have to trouble yourself. Please, leave me alone. Man, no, man. These adults have no emotional intelligence. She's doing the exact fucking thing Kraus did. But like, kind of softer. Now I understand why there's so many widows. Natsuki wasn't being cold. She just wanted her daughter to go far away so that she wouldn't have to bump against Natsuki's own short temper. But there was no chance that Jessica would realize this. Okay. Jessica hung her head, looking sad. Seeing that expression, Natsuki recognized the kindness that Jessica was trying to muster. She gave her head a small shake to drive away her own unkind feelings. Then I'll leave. I'll be with the other cousins, so don't get in the way of the adults. Or so I don't get in the way of the adults. See you later. Wait here. She called Jessica, who was trying to leave and looked lonely, to a stop. What? Thank you for being so considerate. It can be salvaged. It isn't good of me to go to sleep and leave you alone. Eva's husband is the only good man in this fuck-ass family. Yeah, I mean, like... Hideyoshi is a good partner, but I don't know if he's a good man. You know? Because, like, he is there partaking in these, like, horrible discussions and, like, all that. And, like, I get defending your wife, but, like, also... women's have rights, but they also have wrongs. I think Eva's got a ton of wrongs, maybe. It isn't good for me to go to sleep and leave you alone.
よせよ。
Don't talk like that.
縁起でもないぜ。
You'll bring bad luck.
心配をかけました。
I've made you worried,
もう大丈夫です
but。I'm okay now.
私は行きます。
I'll go. If I let my daughter see me this feeble any longer, I'll only make her feel more uneasy. Yeah, and Rudolph seems more decent than his brother. Exactly. If women have rights, then why have they all left me? Damn. That's rough. Hold on, let me think. Rights and wrongs forgotten. You might have cooked Sky. I was seeing that dude with the feather pen and like the fire. Like, you got something there. There's something real fire there. Gosh, okay, who's the most acceptable group of humans in the adult family? Again, like, I think Rudolph's worst trait is that he was unfaithful to his original partner and probably continues to maybe be unfaithful. I don't know. I mean, it's like kind of one of those like once a cheater, always a cheater like mentalities in my head. Like when you're willing to do that with someone, that kind of like states a failing of like I don't know, not necessarily like morals, but kind of. And that's something that is incredibly difficult to correct. I mean, I know it's not impossible, but yeah. So like that's Rudolph's worst thing, but everyone else has got some real fucked up shit going on. Because like Rosa beats her kid. Kraus just seems like the worst fucking man in existence. And Eva... Has Eva really done anything wrong besides be a little toxic? Maybe Eva's not that bad. Eva's just an instigator. A toxic instigator, but I don't know if I've seen her do anything bad yet. Like me, I instigate. I love instigating. Instigating is so much fun. Not for like fights, but I will commonly very much tell people like when I'm like drinking at parties and stuff. It's like, hey, you haven't had enough to drink. Why don't you take a shot? Why don't you take a shot with me? And then like I may or may not take that shot and let them take a shot and just get everyone mad twisted. Instigating can be fun when done with kindness and light in your heart. Yeah, Eva is la toxica. Exactly. That's the worst thing. Eva's that bad, trust me. So yeah, Rudolph and Kyrie, maybe the best adult couple of the adults. Hideyoshi is doing a ton of heavy lifting for Eva. Rosa, maybe is the worst. This is very much humanizing Natsuhi's relationship with her daughter, and doesn't make her seem incredibly like cold or distant to her daughter. I mean, she is in a way, but it's not like straight up, oh, it's not like she doesn't love her, because she wants to give Jessica like the world. She wants to give Jessica everything that she wants, and she wants to make Jessica happy. But I can't really say the same for like how Kraus might feel about Jessica or something, you know? So that puts her slightly ahead of beating Maria, maybe. If I let my daughter see me this feeble any longer, I'll only make her feel more uneasy. Like, I feel like Natsuhi's relationship with Jessica is a relationship that gets better when distance is applied. Like, I think when Jessica gets older and Natsuhi is, you know, still around, hopefully separated from the dipshit that is Kraus, Natsuhi would probably have a good relationship with Jessica. Like, I think they would be able to come to terms with each other and, like, actually understand each other. Yeah, tier list of how bad these people suck. Maybe by the time we finish, Like, or maybe we do like a live doc one day. Like maybe next time I stream Umineko, I keep a like tier list of like where do I place these adults on like the pure suck meter. And then we might see like some listings change. That'll be fun. But yeah, like I'm very like sympathetic to Natsuhi. With that thought in mind, Natsuhi left Jessica with words of gratitude and made to depart. Google Doc once the series is over. This time Jessica called out, I'm gonna write a Google Doc. I'm gonna write a twit longer about everything Kraus did wrong in Umineko. Do people still do twit longers, or it's all Google Docs now, huh? This time Jessica called out to her mother's back. Natsuhi stopped and turned around, asking what business Jessica had with her. But Jessica herself didn't know why she'd stopped her mother. And for a while she smiled wryly, muttering to herself as she hesitated over what to say. She was poking around in her pocket when her hand touched something, and she took it out. I need a tier list to see who we would take a crack at. Consider it. Although every time I talk like that, I do feel a part of me like kind of twinge, like I maybe shouldn't talk like that. I have a girlfriend. So like I don't know if I would do that. Hey mom, I was given a charm today. What was it? A charm against magic? I'm pretty sure that you were supposed to hang it from your doorknob, I think. See, like, their relationship can be fixed. Jessica and Natsuhi, like, actually are okay with each other when they're not, like, when Natsuhi is not hounding her about grades. That's up to you two. I don't consider fictional characters as cheating. You know what? Fair. She has her characters in New Carnival. I can have my characters in whatever the fuck I'm streaming. I forgot. There's no point in me having it. So I'll let you take it. It was the scorpion charm that Maria had given her on the beach. Although she'd heard of its various effects from Maria, Jessica's mind had gone blank, and she was just barely able to say even that much. You're so right. This is why we should invite her to making a tier list. Oh my god. I don't know if I could. No, I could do it. I could do that. I'm comfortable with doing that, but it would feel kind of weird. Right? Like, no, I don't like it. It feels kind of weird. And she was just barely able to save that much. That is like, okay, remember how I was saying at the start of the stream, Sky, how there is like certain lines that like I'm not comfortable crossing and lines that I'm okay with? Like, I'll totally do like a cringe ass ASMR if I can separate it from myself. But I think when I get my girlfriend in the mix, it's like, oh, that's like, there are real repercussions to that. She might beat me. I have a hear me out that I can't say yet. You make the tier list and she judges it 2 streams. You know what? That's good content. That's good content. Because it makes me uncomfortable. I know that shit's good content. Oh my god, Jeremy, you're so right. One day, I just like I make a list. And then I tell her, hey, would you want to rate this? Would you want to rate or go through this list of characters that I put together as like, I don't know, like, I don't know if I would necessarily say like would not, but like good characters, bad characters. I don't know, that's lame. Good characters and bad characters kind of gives me an out. Waifu tier list. Battler would just be a fun boy toy. Although she'd heard of its various effects from Maria, Jessica's mind had gone blank, and she was just barely able to save in that much. Pretty sure she's just gonna say, what kind of games are you playing? I mean, I keep her updated. She's pretty on top of what I'm playing. Like, what's it called? Last Christmas, when I was going through Fata Morgana, she got me a really nice Fata Morgana charm that I like really like, and that I keep with me on this desk. Jessica, thinking that her mother probably wouldn't accept it anyway, immediately drew back the hand she had stuck out, grasping the charm. So when Natsuki came back to take it, she was extremely shocked. What is this? Some kind of prize toy. Yeah, there could just be a standardized ranking list for whoever you feel is the best written, maybe. Yeah, true. Fata is great. Yeah, I loved Fata Morgana. After reading it, it became like my all-time favorite like story like ever. Probably I put it above Outer Wilds actually, which says a lot. Force her to read Umineko. I mean, she likes stories like this, so I'm sure she'd enjoy it. What is this? Some kind of prize toy? Well, it's... I think it's something like that. I guess you wouldn't really expect a charm that looks like a toy to do anything. I miss Outer Wilds. Sky, get the fucking DLC, man! We're getting close to October. It'd be the perfect Halloween game. The DLC is spooky. But her mother took the charm from where she grasped it in her hand. Thank you. I'll take good care of it. Sometime soon in exchange. Why don't I give you a charm that was important to me when I was a child? It's not like that's why I gave it to you. But well, if you really say so, then I will rest for now. My headache is awful. Try not to stay up too late. Sure. We should make a list of NTR-able characters. I think a lot of these characters are NTR-able. Yeah, I'm saying, like, this scene single-handedly salvaged any feelings I had about Natsuhi and Jessica as, like, a relationship. Like, this really sold me on the, like, there is, like, love and tenderness here. And that, like, even if they don't love each other now, if they're able to put some distance between us, or, well, distance between them. I say us because I was reading in the Nazi perspective, lol. What's it called? If they're able to put some distance between them, like, I think there's room for, like, a nice, like, mother-daughter relationship to grow. Like, the kind where they'll, like, look back and think, like, remember when you told me to do that? That was kind of fucked up, huh? And then she'd be like, yeah. Natsuya put the charm in her pocket and turned away. She then disappeared into the dark hall. Seems the weather will be like this all day tomorrow after all. Or after all. George! I got my eyes on George. I don't like him. It seems like he's willing to just pardon any sort of evil in the name of, like, oh, it's because families do that. Or, oh, it's because they're rich. Like, he's the reason why bad things happen. Like, George hasn't done anything, but he does take the stance of the outsider. He does take the stance of the, like, oh, well, it's not happening directly to me, so, like, what, like, it is what it is. So, like, I kind of already don't like George for that. Like, he hand-waved the whole Maria thing, and he was like, oh, well, you know, it's okay that they do that because they have families and companies to worry about. Like, no. He's too much of an apologist. I don't like George. George is not my friend. Maybe I'll come around on him, but, like, I'm not being sold on him. Like, good character, not a person I would hang with. He would not be in the blunt rotation. Seems the weather will be like this all day tomorrow after all. Dang, this makes the good weather we had earlier feel like a lie. Georgianiki and I were killing time in front of the parlor television. At that point, Jessica returned. Her face was still blank, but it looked like she'd calmed down a little since we'd last seen her. Okay, goated blunt rotation for Umineko at this very moment. Battler, of course. Battler's cool. Jessica's cool. Kirie's cool. Let's give Maria the blunt. Maria's cool. Maybe most of the staff of the island, besides what's his name, the one who puts the others down. And that's a really big rotation. That's a lot of people to pass. And I don't know, maybe Hideyoshi. Maria's 9 dog. Give her time. Give her time. If she remains cool into whenever it becomes okay to smoke, she is also in the blunt rotation. Goda, yeah. Goda not in the blunt rotation. Goda the throw under the busta. Exactly. Fuck that guy. Anyone who's not willing to like take on an ounce of like a modicum of responsibility, like we do not fuck with. Dark chocolate milk with Milo powder. Yeah, Maria can have the dark chocolate milk with Milo powder. We'll pass the chocolate milk to her, but everyone else gets the blunt. At that point, Jessica returned, her face still blank, and it looked like she'd calmed down a little since we'd last seen her. In a safe distance that won't give her a second-hand high. She can watch, yeah. Is Maria still in front of the portrait? Nope. She just came back and she's sleeping over there on the sofa. Poor girl's probably so exhausted. It's getting pretty late for her after all. Like she's been like crying and she got beat. Like this is all the same night, right? Like she has had one fuck ass day. Nobody believed, well, Battler believed her, but nobody was willing to help her with the Rose thing. She got beat by Rosa. Nobody took her side when she was saying that she actually talked to Beatrice. Like, no, let her sleep. She's gonna sleep for like 12 hours. Can we invite Beatrice to the rotation? I mean, Beatrice did seem a little silly. If we're to understand that Beatrice was speaking through Maria and that was actually a person. Like, if Beatrice is real, we 1000 add her to the blunt rotation. She seems funny for the bit. Looking at the clock, I saw it was a little past 10 p.m. Even if we were planning to stay up all night, it was about time to head back to our room. Well, my mom did have a room prepared for us in the mansion. What do we do? Maybe we should invite Rosa, the weed will help chill her out. You know, yeah. Rosa could be saved with some medication. Because I don't think she's... Like, she's bad. But I think that bad only comes out from, like, something going on with her, like, mentally, maybe. Like you were saying the other day, Noobly, like, she might have, like, some form of, like BPD or, like, something like that, and... with a little bit of like management, she might be okay with being around her daughter again. Well, my mom did have a room prepared for us in the mansion. What do we do? I'd rather head back to the guest house. Going by what we saw of our parents, I think it'd be better if we weren't in the mansion. George's the type to let the entirety of his life pass by. Like, he's like, oh, they're talking about money. Okay, I'll go over here. I'm gonna be a hater. This is the stream where I decide I'm a hater on George. The one kind of like mid-ass kid. I agree. Feels like they're telling us kids to mind their own business and stay out of their way. Let's go be good little boys and girls and do that. As we were talking about this, Aunt Rosa came into the parlor. She was looking all over restlessly, probably trying to find Maria. Aunt Rosa, if you're looking for Maria, she's over there on the sofa. Thank you. Umineko Nightmare Blunt Rotation. Kraus. Weirdly Kinzo, but not for the reason you might think. I just think he would suck. Like, Kinzo doesn't seem like a... Oh, maybe he does suck. But, like, I just don't want to be in the same room as someone who's just going like, Beatrice, why have you not come back yet? Oh, you know, like that just sounds like awful. That's all he's done. I don't want him in there. But of course, Kraus, number one pick by far, by and large. Then Eva, probably. And then Goda. Oh my god, that is a room that should not exist. I'm just like thinking it out loud, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I do not want to be in there. Thank you. My, she's out cold. We must move her to bed. If you'd like, I'll carry you over to a bed. Thanks, that'd be wonderful. Are you all heading back to the guest house? Or are you going to stay in the room Natsu they had prepared here? We were just talking about that. We had just decided to head over to the guest house. I see. Then could I ask you to take Maria with you? I'd feel much more reassured if she stayed with all of you cousins. Behind those words, she seemed to be concealing some regret that the adults, herself included, had deeply hurt Maria's feelings. I want to see George piss his pants and get all embarrassed and cry. You seem to, you know, there is a through line for you, Noobly, of like kind of weird characters with glasses that you want to see like piss and cry. Because like Seaton, George, I mean, it's two, so we don't have a pattern yet, but we're almost there. Give me the third like glasses wearing like piss and cry guy, and like I will see something. Leave it to us, Rosa. After all, we do have an expert at comforting Maria with us. Are you talking about me? I couldn't do it myself. We'll need everyone together. That's right. The only bright side to George is like, he's good with kids. I'll give him that. Because he does have a way of working with Maria. Battler, weren't you the one who hit it off with Maria when you were messing around earlier? As we said this, Aunt Rosa smiled, looking truly happy. Thank you, everyone. I'm gonna eat this graham cracker. It looks like our meeting will last until very late. Well, I'm sorry to burden you like this. I'll be counting on you all to take care of Maria.
Oi, Mario.
Hey, Maria, did you sleep? We're going back to the guest house. Maria muttered something indistinct, rolled over, and fell back asleep. It looked like she was sleeping deeply. Yeah, again, I don't blame her. She's really out cold. I don't have this fetish, I have something even weirder. I'd hate to wake her. Right, I'll carry her. I don't like you, George! You don't need to be like glasses like obscuring your eyes saying that shit. You're so weird, man. Are we gonna pass out? Enjoy the stream. Thank you for stopping by, Sky. I always appreciate it. Maria's body was much lighter than it looked. I lifted her up and put her on George Anaki's back. It was raining hard outside, and Anaki couldn't hold an umbrella and carry Maria at the same time. It looked like Aunt Rosa would come with us as far as the guest house to help out. However, when she heard Uncle Krause's voice call out to her, she had no choice but to return. Does it involve pitter feet? No. Now that's a problem. I have to go back now. You know what? Shannon is an interesting character, at least for now, in the way that I don't know anything about her. I'm like thinking about it right now, like, I don't know anything about Shannon outside of her being a servant of the house. Like, I can make an assumption on like canon. Like, with him, it's like, oh, I can tell like he has a disdain for like, probably a disdain for the rich and wanting to do something about it with the way he addresses himself as like, oh, they only know us as furniture and blah, blah, blah. Like, okay. Canon, I can understand. Then we have, like, the older maiden lady, I'm forgetting, the one that laughs like, ho, 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 or like whatever. She's kind of like, I mean, I don't have any other way to describe her except like, like the old person with a lot of stories. But like, I don't know what Shannon is like. She doesn't have people around her age to like, do they all live here? Does Shannon like go to school? What's the deal with that? Because like, I feel like that's something that I want addressed. And don't answer if like it does get addressed. But if it doesn't, feel free to say something. But I'm really curious about Shannon in the way that like, I think they said like, oh, she's been working on this island for like 6 years or something. And it's like, okay, well, if she's also the same age as George, it's like, oh yeah, it gets explained later. Okay, big. Yeah, because I don't know Shannon. I like Shannon. I mean, she's got a goated VA, and like it's cool to have other like people outside of the family be here to interact with. But like, I don't know her, you know. Is everyone returning to the guest house? After we all left the hall on the way to the entrance, the door to the servant room opened and Shannon-chan stepped out. She's not the same age as George? Isn't she? Is she younger? Oh no, is she younger? It's grown very dark, so allow me to guide you.
ちょうどよかったわ、シャノちゃん。
George, you fuck! That's even weirder now. No, George is... She's younger than Battler? We need to kill George. Isn't George like a whole ass like 23 or something, or 22? That's too much. That's far too much. Yeah, just noticed stream 4 and still in chapter 1. Like I said, Umineko is going to be like the longest stream series I'm going to have by far. Legal in Japan, we abide by the laws of the 1980s. Oh no. But no, okay, but no. Because George has had a thing for her even longer than that. Which is the problem. Probably. Because, like, I don't know, man. That's too much of an age gap to be crushing on someone. Like, if it was like she was like 20 and he was like 21 or something, or 22, like, it's not as creepy. It's still not great when they're like non-adult, but like, at least I can understand it. Like I've said it before, but like I have a niece who like which way was it? Was it one way or the other? Am I about to say something crazy about my niece where she might be older? My niece her boyfriend was older. She had a boyfriend who was a year above her in high school, right? And like, I don't know how exactly it's handled, but like I know they were still together. Like going into like out of high school. Like, is it problematic for me to say that it's okay if they got together and like there's maybe like a 1-year thing, and they just stayed together? Because, like, I can understand the circumstances for that way the fuck more than George being 23 and her being 16, which would mean that George had a thing for her, theoretically, when George was 18 and she was, like, fucking 11 or 12 or something. I'm bad at math. There's a 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a 7-year age gap. I abide by the half your age plus 7 rule. That's fair. That's fair. But it's like, damn, man. Okay, George sucks. I knew I didn't like that motherfucker. That'd be great, Shannon-chan. George-kun is going to carry Maria there. Could you hold an umbrella for him? Yes, certainly. Shannon-chan brought umbrellas for each of us and a flashlight to guide the way. As we opened the front door, the downpour was quite terrific. It looked like we wouldn't have any spare time to take a pleasant walk and enjoy the nighttime rose garden.
Aniki,
Aniki, is she too heavy? Want me to carry her? No, man. Why does he keep having it? I do not like... Now that I know this, I don't fucking like that his glasses are fogged up every time he's fucking... No. George is weird. George is so weird. I can at least carry Maria-chan. Rikishi 7 did not consider the implications of that, of all that weird because he's usually good with that. I'm truly grateful. Please take care of Maria. Sure, you got it. George seems off. It said he's a weirdo. Then I guess this is good night, Aunt Rosa. Yeah, see, Noobly, I wasn't gonna straight up say it, but that's exactly my line of thinking there for a second. And I will see them over there and return here. Like, you telling me George is like a Minecraft YouTuber who has a doc come out about them like 3 years after they're big? And it turns out that, like, they did some heinous shit? Yes, please. Androsa watched us leave. Maria, I'm sorry for everything. Rosa's mumbling voice didn't reach the person in question, nor any of the kids, but disappeared beneath the sound of the rain. After cutting through the rainy rose garden, we arrived at the guest house. If only I'd applied for the position of Maria's carrier. Just try to ignore for the sake of enjoying the story. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I can put it aside, like, because if it's not the main focus of the story, like, it's not going to be something that I think about. Like, it's not something I think about, you know. So like, it'll be easy for me to be like, okay, yeah, and like moving on. If only I'd applied for the position of Maria's carrier. Then I would have gotten a chance to have Shannon-chan's huge boobs rubbing all over my arms. That's not why I did it. It's a misunderstanding. I thought that if I didn't walk like this, George-sama would get all wet. Come on, quit babbling and go in. Yeah, Battler, please. Battler, no! After being urged on by Jessica, we folded up our umbrellas and went into the guest house. But yeah, going back to what Jeremy said, like, at the very least, Battler can kind of be excused because of the laws at the time, but it's still gross. After being urged on by Jessica, we folded up our umbrellas and went into the guest house. Can we put George through a public humiliation ritual? We do a stream where I print out George on a piece of paper and just do, like, dastardly things to it. Has anyone gotten their clothes wet? I can bring some towels if you want. You don't need to worry about us that much. Thanks, Shannon-chan. Ah, that's right. We were planning to play cards or something. Would you care to join us for a bit? Yeah, George, not Battler. Yeah, Battler is fine. I know he's just like that. Who had the night shift on today's schedule? I believe we had a special schedule during the family conference. Also, I think a few alterations have been made, so I'll go and check. Wait, if you have to go all the way back to the mansion to find out, don't force yourself. That's alright. I can find out from the servant's room in the guest house. They got that shit live updated, or like... Please excuse me for a short while. Shannon-chan gave a quick bow and went to the guest house servant room. Yeah, Battler makes wild jokes, George glints his glasses and makes questionable choices. True. We are unfortunately playing another Falcom game where we cannot trust the motherfucker with glasses. The rest of us headed for the cousin's room and decided to put Maria to bed for the time being. Maria was sleeping very deeply, but there was absolutely no sign of his eyes opening, or her eyes opening. For now, we'd get some soft drinks out of the room's refrigerator and drink those while playing cards or something. Speaking of soft drinks, I bought a 12-pack of Coke Zero Cherry Float for $2.50. If I don't make it to next week, you'll know what took me out. Oh, Kanon-kun. And you're here too, Genji-sama. Kanon is like... You know who Kanon reminds me of, weirdly? And it's like... No resemblance, maybe, but maybe a little bit. I get a lot of Joshua vibes. Joshua Trails in the Sky. It could just be because if you gave Kanon, like, long hair, he would be a little bit gender ambiguous and could play the role of a very great princess. But... Oh, Kanon-kun, and you're here too, Genji-sama. What has happened with tonight's shift? Kraus-sama has given an order. He made some sizable changes to the shift schedule. Indeed. Goda-san now has the night shift at the mansion. Ah, okay, I see. They really are just building the Nightmare Blunt rotation, but like, I didn't have to do it. Shannon and Kanon have the night shift in the guest house. Kumasawa-san and I have been ordered to sleep in the guest house. Just now a phone call came in, saying that once you arrive, you were to also remain here for the rest of the night. That's certainly a sizable change. Kanon is going to go through the most horrific twink death. The shifts at the guest house and the mansion have been completely reversed, haven't they? Originally, Shannon and Kanon had been assigned to the night shift in the mansion, while the night shift in the guest house, where all the relatives were staying, had been assigned to Goda, who had an abundance of experience in entertaining. Kumasawa should have been sleeping at the guest house, while Genji should have been sleeping in the mansion. However, it seems that Kraus had suddenly ordered the schedule to be modified. Who was it that hired Goda again? Goda is the most easily manipulated maid, or butler, I mean, on the staff. He wants to prove himself. Goda is going to be an important figure in potentially poisoning and killing people if that ever happens. Thought it was Natsuhi. It was definitely that family, though. Because she's in charge of the staff? Okay. Then it probably was Natsuhi. Yeah, Goda's just the cook. Yeah. Yeah, because they hired him from, like, the 5-star restaurant and all that. I know that. And, like, he has the least tenure on the staff, considering everyone else has been here for way, way longer. So it's like, oh, yeah. If I don't do what they tell me to do, I'm going to be out of a job, and they're paying me really well. Probably. Assumedly. Yeah, he's literally just the chef, yeah. It seemed that Kraus had suddenly ordered that the schedule be modified. The shift at the guest house and the mansion had all been reversed, and Genji was spending the night in the guest house. It's probably because of Beatrice-sama's letter. Why, probably. After such a mysterious letter appeared, it was only natural that Kraus-sama would suspect one of us. We serve directly under the master. So Kraus-sama tried his best he could to keep us far away from the family conference. Genji, Shannon, and Kanon were all permitted to wear the Yoshirimiya family crest, the one-winged eagle, as the servants who directly served under Kinzo. Of course, since they were working for the Yoshirimiya family, they had to obey anyone's order, but their only boss was Kinzo. Since only Kinzo held the right to employ them, even Kraus could not have dismissed them of his own accord. Because of this, Kraus and the others often viewed the servants as Kinzo's underlings and shunned them. And in fact, Kinzo seldom let anyone other than them enter his study. The sudden change was probably a clear expression of the sense of mistrust this had caused. Considering the time Kinzo had left to live, this would definitely be the last family conference before the problem of the inheritance came up. On top of that, the mysterious letter that claimed to be from Beatrice had dropped in out of the blue. Kraus definitely wanted to keep Kinzo's loyal subjects away from the table of such a delicate and important discussion. If you would excuse me, I will go rest. If anything happens, call me immediately. Our company tonight is special. Yes, certainly, Genji-sama. Genji nodded back, went behind a screen, took off his jacket, and slowly began to relax after a day's worth of tension. Imagine seeing Genji take off his jacket, though. I mean, that man is kind of built. It would be a sight to behold. Not gay, but... The one who just returned now. The ones who just returned now. Were they the children? Yes. The other relatives are having a conference in the mansion. It looked like it would drag on for quite some time. Genji looks like the type to be able to like suplex a bear. I feel like he's got that dog in him. Then we've got it easy. It's already this late. There's this weather. The rest of the relatives will probably spend the night in their rooms in the mansion. Not gay, but $20 is $20. Exactly. Yes, probably. I'm only saying this because Genji-sama isn't around. But I'm a little happy I was sent to the guest house, I guess. Oh? Why is that? Because you can stay away from Madame and Eva-sama, those bullies. Or do you have another reason? Not gay, but got that dog in him. I'm just saying, like a straight man can see the beauty in another very attractive man. Like, oh my god, fucking Majima when he was through the ringer in like a pirate, like a dragon pirate Yakuza in Hawaii with his like really disheveled look, and just like really going through it. Like, there's something about like a real hot guy in distress, like just really like fucked up hair and like, I don't know. Again, I'm straight. Hetero, by the way. It's not as though I have another reason. I see. Then, let's do our best together with our night shift. I'm counting on you, Ne-san. Just now I was asked to go to the children's room and play with them. Shannon hung her head apologetically, gazing at Kanon uncertainly. Kanon didn't try to meet her eyes and spoke curtly as he sighed. It looked like he didn't plan on indulging his sister. Nietzsche read Berserk. Okay, and also like I don't know if I talked about it live on stream, but I watched the new Spider-Man movie. Like, Tom Holland also falls under that category in certain parts of that movie. Like, holy shit, man. Like I understand Zendaya. It looks like he didn't plan on indulging his sister. You can't. You were assigned to the night shift. Besides which, it isn't necessary for furniture like us to respond to an invitation to play. Berserk is goated despite everything wrong with it. You understand, right? Yeah, like, okay, Kanon is giving the same vibes as Joshua when he says this. Spoilers for Trails in the Sky. He's giving the same vibes as Joshua when he's like, oh yeah, I'm just the fucking killer for Ouroboros. Like, that's all we are. It's like, it's the same shit. Like, this is literally just Joshua, but an Umineko. How old is Kanon? I think Kanon is also like 15 or 16. I remember, like, when I did the math, it turned out he was like 15 or 16. Yeah, I'll keep recommending it. It's great. Yeah, I actually have it on my watch list now, Flash. So when I get around to it, I'm really excited for it. I only wish, and this is for my sake, right? Like, I wish that the dub kept happening. Because I do like watching shows in dub, but it seems like they only dubbed the first 2 seasons, and the rest of them have not been dubbed, and there doesn't seem to be a sign of it being dubbed in the future. So, like, if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to watch it fully subbed. But then I'm going to have to lock in. Yes, I do understand. Shannon's shoulders drooped slightly. She had already expected that Kanon, a stickler for the rules, would say something like that, but she still seemed a little discouraged. Wait, are we deadass? Does Kanon have a thing for Shannon? Oh my god! It is just fucking Joshua. With the whole, like, sister thing? Nah. She had already expected that Kanon, a stickler for the rules, would say something like that, but she still seemed a little discouraged. As Kanon flipped through a logbook, he spoke without facing Shannon. Oh no, not like that? Okay. That means the children will be waiting for you. You'll have to apologize and tell them you have the night shift and won't be able to stay with them. Go and come back. He has a thing for someone else. Ah, okay. Okay. Yes. I'll go apologize and come back. Shannon hurriedly stood from her seat before her brother's mood could change, and flew out of the servants' room after giving a quick bow. As he watched her go, Kanon took a single deep breath. Genji's voice came from beyond the screen. Kanon, I will be here, so you can go too. Genji-sama. Shannon was the only one called. It is not as though I was invited. That is only because you were not there at the time. If you had been, you would have been invited as well. I like Genji. He's kind of got, like, I don't know if he's gonna be, like, fucked up and evil, but he's giving me the same, like, stoicism that, like, I really like out of characters like Kiryu. Like Kiryu? Kiryu. God, I've been playing too much Utawara Ramono. Kiryu slipped out. Kiryu. Or like Saijima, or like all of them. All of them like a dragon motherfuckers. Them Yakuza pro tags. Like, he's giving me Taichi Suzuki, Yakuza 5 Kiryu. It is good to play as a child from time to time. No, such a thing is not necessary for me. Human children may have a need to play, but we're furniture. Fuck, man, this shit's deep for Kanon. He doesn't even consider himself human. Is that so? Ne-san is also furniture. Even if she pretends to be a person, it only hurt her later. I understand that, so I try not to get too close to people. That's all. Genji did not say anything after that. It's been 10 hours and nobody's died yet. Has it been 10 hours? Has it been more? How long have my streams been? Because it might be more than 10 hours. If we're being, like, real here. Because I've done... Where is my Umineko playlist? 4, 8, 12. It's been almost 16 hours. 16 hours and nobody has died. 16 hours and only chapter 1. Yeah, guessing. Pretty close, pretty close. Genji did not say anything after that. After a while, he stood up and used the pot of hot water to make powdered cocoa, serving some to Kanon as well. Been a while since I had cocoa made with hot water. I am blessed with the knowledge and ability to like go and grab milk and boil milk for cocoa. Cocoa made with milk is just like so much better. Is that for real? I had no clue. Dumbass, you're too loud. You wake up Maria. Battler was so surprised that he yelled obnoxiously and scattered his cards everywhere. I'm kind of worried that the cat's still stuck in the room that I put him in. Give me 1 second to make sure that someone let the cat out. Checking on the cat. I leave you in the hands of little Mangaga on my shoulder. Okay, we're good. He's out. He was out. Battler was so surprised that he yelled obnoxiously and scattered his cards everywhere. His voice caused Maria to turn over once, but she soon fell back into a deep sleep. Just like me. I'm such a deep sleeper. Unfortunately for everyone else, I am the type to have like 17 different alarms and none of them wake me up. I'm so sorry. Jessica gave him a jab and he lowered his voice. Still, seriously, now that you mention it, they really did have that kind of atmosphere, didn't they? Now I see. So George Aniki is... Oh? George couldn't be seen anywhere in the room. A short while ago, when Shannon came into the room, George suddenly said that he'd forgotten something in the mansion and needed to go back to get it. Shannon said she would guide him, just like she had on the way to the guest house, and the two of them disappeared together, or departed together. Well, there's actually been signs of it for a while now. No, man! Jessica, do not, like, be okay with this. That's a whole ass 23-year-old with a 16-year-old. No! You know, questions about hobbies and favorite things. I always thought it was a bit much for a passing interest. And look what's happened now. Come to think of it, I got the feeling George Oniki's always been overly nice to Shannon-chan. Now I get it. Oh. I tried to take a picture. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, that's fine. I thought the game crashed. The primal fear showed up. The primal fear showed up. Let me make a save. The second primal fear showed up. I didn't run this in administrator. Oh no! Oh no! Fuck! It crashed. I didn't run this with administrator. It crashed. It's okay. I barely did anything. I kind of yapped for like 90%. We're gonna get back there in less than like 10 minutes. Check it out. Yeah, BRV. Yeah, a good time too. If anyone needs to go get a snack, do it now. When we cry, exactly. Well, I don't know how people have take so long to beat these games, you know? Like I'm getting through this game fast. We actually did do quite a lot though. Now that I'm like kind of going through this, like there was actually a lot of dialogue that we went through. Okay, here we are. We made it. And I put my hand in the potato chip bag and I eat another potato chip.
天気予報によると今夜が一番ひどいみたい。
Yeah, I can feel that stomach growl, so let me eat this graham cracker. Just as I came back with snacks. Welcome back, Noobly. Finish this bite and then we'll get to it. According to the weather report, it looks like it'll be at its worst tonight. It also seems it'll last all day tomorrow. It should get a little better. Really? Then maybe the boat won't arrive until the day after tomorrow. I hope that doesn't interfere with your work on Monday. I already knew the typhoon would be coming beforehand. Just in case, I made sure I didn't have any plans for Monday, so it's okay. I may not look it, but I really am the type who can plan ahead in his schedule. George and Sitam feel similar? Yeah, no, both of them kind of are like plotty ass motherfuckers. George puffed out his chest, acting proud. Compared to the calm appearance George always had as the oldest cousin, he now looks amusingly like a little kid. Shannon chuckled at his abrupt contrast. It's no surprise you're so well prepared. As someone who will bring prosperity to his company someday. Well, making a company prosper really is a tough job. Money isn't the only thing that's important. I learned that well when studying under my father. Oh no, man. You chose the wrong guy to study under. Oh wait, no. Hideyoshi. Hideyoshi is George's dad, right? Hideyoshi is fine. Probably. Making a company prosper is like owning a castle and leading your subordinates. My dad really loves reading about great leaders during the warring periods of Japan. A hobby that probably influenced by the fact that he shares Totoyomi Hideyoshi's name. Ah, yep, there we go. Much of his philosophy on managing business comes from talking about them. You telling me Hideyoshi's got that warring periods autism? You love to see it. I don't know if it was the warring periods, but if it isn't, or if it is, hop on Nippon Sangoku. That was an anime from like a season or two ago. Really, really good anime. Probably my favorite that season. Whoa, we have never seen a text box get bigger. Did you know? Takeda Shingen, who was feared as the leader of the strongest cavalry corps in the warring periods, started out with his troops in complete disarray and didn't have the kind of strong leadership necessary to utilize them. They should have just let that keep climbing all the way up until, like, Shannon said something. Is that true? That's a little unexpected. In order to unite his troops, Shingen showed his excellent leadership in many ways. For example, when a soldier succeeded well in battle, he would immediately honor them with a medal. Normally that kind of thing was put off until after the war, and they were all awarded at once. He continued this diligently while on the field of battle, and immediately showing his appreciation for his troops' military exploits motivated them in an extremely significant fashion. Also, whenever one of his troops was brought down by an illness, he would be the first to rush up to them and care for them and so on. Takeda Shingen wasn't just the man who led the strongest cavalry corps in the warring periods. He was the person who cared the most for his troops throughout the warring period. And because he was that kind of person, all of his troops went along with him. The truth was, Shannon had already heard this story several years ago. I just can't stop talking about it. Apologies, I need one more graham cracker. That stomach be rumbling. But whenever a discussion of his father led to this sort of topic, George would always glow and look like he was having a great time. So Shannon just smiled without interrupting, urging him to continue. Of course, in a capitalist world, money determines both your strength and your height, and the height of your fortifications. But you can't build a castle or succeed in war by yourself. Such things can only be accomplished with the support of many subordinates by borrowing their strength. After understanding this, when I look at my father's back, I realize how immature I am. I can clearly see how much competition he'd had to overcome before building up all he has now. When your boyfriend info dumps. You know, surprisingly, as a streamer, I don't think I'm an info dumper. Like, I haven't really, I can't really recall any times I've info dumped to my girlfriend. I might have to ask her to see if I've done that. George-sama, you surely look up to your father. I'm jealous. Sorry, that's not how I meant it. I'm sorry, that's not how I meant it either. The two of them awkwardly look at their feet. Shannon had no parents. She'd been brought up in an orphanage owned by Kinzo called the Fukin House. The Fukin House. The Fukin House? Kinzo had an orphanage. Are we getting like a Shintaro Kazuma? Shintaro Kazuma, like a dragon? Kinzo actually had an orphanage, but only because he was taking in the kids of the parents that he killed. Type shit. Under the guidance of Kinzo, the honorary director, the orphanage offered members who excelled the chance for on-the-job serving experience. If their efforts met with Kinzo's approval, they'd be able to leave the orphanage and work as servants for the Yoshirimiya family. This was considered to be the highest honor for those who lived in the orphanage. That don't sound like... That just sounds like building child slaves. That's crazy. That's crazy. Because, like, orphans don't have anyone to protect them besides the system that exists to, like, protect them. And if the person running the orphanage is utilizing that system to create servants, like, hold on. There's a problem there. Servants from the Fukuin house all took names with the characters on in them while they served. So Shannon wasn't her real name. The same went for Kanan. All of the members of the Fukuen house were orphans. At least they were all people who had been separated from their parents under special circumstances. Guess who loves criticizing the system? We've come full circle! Because of this, the orphans have been taught to think of each other as their only family. That's why it seemed so natural to both of them when Kanan called Shannon his sister. While both Shannon and Kanan were both working in the mansion today, there were several other servants possessing the own character in their names, such as Manon and Lennon, who often worked in rotation schedule. Who's Manon and Lennon? Have we not seen them? Huh. However, there were not many servants who stayed with the Yoshidamiya family very long. It was standard for them to quit after 3 years. So you could probably say that Shannon, who had been working for 10 years, was a notable exception to the rule. Working as a servant for the Yoshidamiya family was a heavy burden to bear, but the pay wasn't bad at all. Working for a full 3 years would have earned more than what was needed to enter mainstream society. That was why, even though the orphans realized what a harsh task working for the Yoshidamiya family was, they still hoped to be accepted. John Lennon. There are two arcs in Higurashi about criticizing Japanese child protection services. Maybe the fact that Shannon managed to continue working for 10 years wasn't because she had more willpower than the other servants. Maybe she's gotten stuck working for 10 years because she didn't have the courage to say she wanted to quit. Kinzo couldn't even trust his own blood relatives, and those excellent servants sent from the Fukuen house were the only ones he could rely on. Because of that, Kinzo would sometimes allow them to wear the family crest as servants under his direct control, and have them work close to him. You've been working here for almost 10 years now, right? Must have saved up a lot of money by now. I wonder. It's not like there's anything in particular I'd like to buy. After all, a few million yen isn't enough to live off of the rest of your life. Wait, is Shannon like hella loaded? I mean, a few million yen isn't a lot of money, right? That's like, what, a couple $1,000s? Sorry, caught up in the money situation. How much is that? Well, that changed my life. Shannon, you have money that would change my life. Yeah, a million yen back then would have been around 10,000 USD. It's currently 6.2. You telling me she's got a few million yen? Maybe I'm just broke, but like, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. But yeah, definitely not enough for the rest of your life. Yeah, not enough to live on for the rest of your life. Yeah. So the reason you've been working all this time wasn't to hit some target sum? Yes, that's right. I have nowhere to go outside this mansion, and I've been getting along well with Milady and the other young servants. The madam does scold me sometimes, but caring for the roses and cleaning the mansion is fun. But that can't be your entire life, Shannon-chan. No, Sayo-chan. Oh? Shannon cast her eyes downward when she heard her real name. She understood what George was trying to say and fell silent. There's something I've learned, as I continue to study even after becoming an adult and a full-fledged member of society. A human life is not as monotonous or short as we thought when we were kids. All school-age kids have certain fears they can't shake. What was my fear? Spiders? But not arachnophobia level. What was my fear? Dentists. Teeth. All school-age kids have certain fears they can't shake. They wonder whether they'll live the rest of their lives like sleepy classes after a monotonous and boring school day. Spending their time in a carefree laziness without anything interesting happening until it's all over. However, life's only like that for underage students. Compared to a human life, the time we spend as students is nothing more than a blink of an eye. A period where they break through the shells of their immaturity. The inside of the shell might be a hot, suffocating, and boring world, but the world beyond that shell is vast and filled with limitless potential.
君の人生は
So far, your life has been trapped inside the shell called Shannon.
君は
I think you're under the mistaken impression that your life will
こ
continue
の
like
生
this
活のま
forever.
まずっと続
それは
That's... Shannon couldn't deny those words. She'd been unable to harbor any clear doubts about her lifestyle. And since she never had any hopes or goals for changing herself, she'd lazily continue living the way she always had. And if asked whether this life was satisfying, she wouldn't have been able to nod. She may have been intentionally averting her eyes from the truth. Without George's admonishments, she would have continued pretending not to notice her real life slipped away, bit by bit, neglected.
ジョージ様
George-sama,
私はこのままでいては
is it wrong for me to continue living this way?
いけないよ
Yeah, it is.
あ
Oh, and by the
そ
way,
れから今
didn't you break one of your
ル
rules
ー
just
ル違
now?
反が
Or our
一つ
rules
あって
just now? George immediately gave a strict answer, then broke out into a mischievous smile. Shannon already knew what she was being chided for, and she hung her head again, apparently embarrassed.
僕たちしかいないときは
Didn't she promise not to use Sama when the two of us are
なしの約束だよ
alone? I couldn't obey
約
that as
束
a
では聞
promise.
けませんですが
But if it was an
ご命
order,
令でしたら
I would have to
聞か
obey
ない
it.
わけにはいきません私は
Because I'm
家具ですから
furniture.
じゃ
Then
あ
it's an
命
order.
令だよ
Yes,
はいかしこまりました
Certainly.
ジョージさん
George-san. As Shannon hung her head and her face red, she said George's name again, this time using San. Yes, that's fine,
それでいい
Sayo-chan.
よさよちゃん
It's funny how OG George sprite looks so innocent while the other two look like he's hiding a sinister secret. The moment is probably supposed to be sweet and romantic, but the glasses fogging over makes it so not that. It really does. Cause like, maybe if he didn't look so fucking suspicious, I'd be like, oh yeah, you know, this is fun. I mean, I know like rich kid antics or whatever. But like, when he says it like this, it feels like he's taking away her right to making the choice herself. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand doing it in like a playful way, but the glasses really make it seem sinister. Like, it makes it feel like George is like, oh, I'm not giving you a choice. You're gonna call me George-san, and you're gonna fucking like it. Like, George smiled at Shannon. No, Sayo. To praise your small act of bravery. This short exchange alone made it clear how far back their relationship must have stretched. For a long while, the two talked as if the weather raging about them didn't even enter their thoughts. Right? I don't remember feeling like that when I originally played this. I don't think that's his intention. Yeah, it's definitely not his intention. Like, the intention is totally like, oh, I want you to be comfortable around me. Like, I want to be comfortable around you. You should feel comfortable around me. You don't need to address me as, like, Lord, because, like, that's not how I want to be seen by you. Like, I want to be seen as an equal. And that's definitely the intended reading if nothing changes. But for the purposes of the really evil looking ass George sprite, like, it does not read that way. Like, if you turned off the music, this would be an eerie ass scene. Just off of the art alone. They talked about the many memories they'd built during their relationship that no one else knew about. Every once in a while, a flash of lightning would attempt to interrupt them, but this could sully neither the roses nor the time they spent blushing at each other. Get a room! But don't. She's 16. George, fuck off.
そうだ
That's right.
君に
I have something I wanted
見
to
せ
show
たいも
you.
のがあって
なんでしょうか
What could it be? George, who had been speaking eloquently, suddenly started to stutter. Right? Like, him trying to suss out why she's been saving up money and not spending it too? Like, exactly! Exactly, Yaoilicious. Like, there's just something about, like, look at, like, it looks like, right now, if you didn't tell me If you did not tell me and I jumped into this, like, the last line, straight off the get-go, like, oh, I have something to tell you, right? What did he say exactly? That's right, I have something I wanted to show you. What could it be? And then he fucking pulls out a knife and stabs her. Like, it'd be like, you shouldn't have trusted me. Like, he looks like a fucking serial killer. He looks like he tortures animals. Watching him, Shannon seemed to guess something. George timidly searched through his pockets. Something got caught in the depths of his pocket, and just like the stuttering George, it took a little while to get it out. It was a very small box. A small box covered in a deep blue velvet. That peculiar shape was enough to tell anyone what was resting inside. Is he really gonna give her a ring? Shannon had prepared her heart somewhat, certain beforehand that this was what he had been planning. But even so, when she actually saw it, she couldn't avoid blushing once more. George opened the small box, took something out, and held it out for Shannon to take. Bro skipped a few steps. Yes, he did. They never fucking dated. Like, there was nothing there. It was just him being like, hey, Shannon, come with me while I fucking go on the manor. I don't like this relationship. I do not approve. This does not get the Nietzsche seal of approval. George opened the small box, took something out, and held it out for Shannon to take. Like, maybe if she was like a little bit older and not working for the fucking family, but like, I mean, Shannon, get your bag, but also like, George is a creep. George is a creep for using this, like, I mean, he may not, I mean, he's not intentionally using it, but like, the power dynamic is there, like, what is she gonna do if she says no? Like, she has to be aware that there are repercussions. Like, that's not something that, like, Shannon as a worker for the family can say no to. If she didn't work for the family, maybe different. Then George is just a creep for the age thing. But George is also a creep for the power dynamic thing here. George opened the small box, took something out, and held it out for Shannon to take. I want you to take this. Yeah, he's not saying anything overt, but it's like being on a boat. It's the implications. Couldn't accept something so valuable. Yeah, but Shannon's feelings though. Yeah, I mean, luckily for this instance, it does feel like Shannon does seem to like George. But also, like, it feels a little skeevy. Cause like, Shannon doesn't know anything besides George. Right? Like, y'all get that. I'm sure y'all get that. Cause that's what's also kind of like, ew. Yeah, she's 16. Of course she's gonna be starstruck by the rich older guy. Yeah. To her, this is just like, oh, my Prince Charming. But like, is it? Chuck it to experience, yeah. I mean, at the very least, gosh, I don't know what divorce was like in old Japan, but she's probably gonna get so much money after George ends up being a creep. You can't take it? That's not... I'm unworthy of such a thing. Yeah, I mean, let's at least be happy that Shannon does like her, like him. But, Sayo, this isn't a request. No! Like, I hate George. I don't like George. This whole thing is like so like icky. It's got grease. Like, I know that's supposed to be playful, but it's not. It's so not. Turn off the music and this is fucking awful. Sayo, this isn't a request. It's an order. Take this ring. Okay? If it's an order,
命令では従わなくて
I
はなり
cannot
ません
disobey.
うん
Yeah,
そうだね
that's right.
いいからよ
Well done. The fucking well done? No, George! You're giving off that, like... I mean, some people are into it. Some people are into it, but, like, to me, it's just kind of gross. But, like, when it's like, oh, yeah, good girl. Yeah, like... Exactly, he's like trying to act like a dom or something, yeah. Shannon, not wanting to show her bright red face, timidly accepts the ring from George's hand while staring at the ground. That ring wasn't a simple accessory. It was a noble object meant since ancient times to be offered to a special woman under special circumstances. Haku and Kuon, though. Haku and Kuon did not have that problem, I think. Maybe I'm just looking at things from rose-tinted glasses, but, like, I don't think Haku and Kuon ever had the, like, weird grossness that, like, George and Shannon have right now. At worst, you can say, like, Kuon's a little weird for catching feelings for, like... And, of course, it changes. And, I mean, I think it's fine, because they were both, like... They were both consenting adults. And, like, of course, like, at the start of the relationship thing, Kuon saw... Oh, my gosh, I should stop talking. There could be spoilers here for anyone who has not played Utawai Ramono. That being like, I mean, I know Sky left, but still. It was a noble object meant since ancient times to be offered to a special woman under special circumstances. Therefore, while George could order her to take it, he could not order anything beyond that. But it feels like he might. Anything beyond that would depend not on an order, but on Sayo's own will.
だからここからはもう
So from
命令
here
じゃな
on,
い
I'm not ordering you anymore.
さよ
Sayo,
明日までに
I want you to give me your answer by tomorrow without using words.
返事がもらいたい
I'm gonna watch my face, I'm uncomfortable. Yeah, right? George, you cretin? You absolute fucking creature? You shell of a man? So from here on, I'm not ordering you anymore. Sayo, I want you to give me your answer by tomorrow without using words. What does he mean by that? Like kiss him? Like, how would you give the words without, I mean, nod?
わかるね
Do you understand?
と
How should I...
もうこれ以上は命
I
令
won't
じゃ
order
ない
you
か
any
ら
further, so this isn't an
僕
order.
は君に命令を
Okay,
し
here we go. Oh, wear the ring. Wear the ring. Thank you, Jeremy. I forget that there is a physical object at play that could be worn. I won't order you any further, so that this isn't an order.
でも
But a ring is something you put on your finger after all. Oh, there we go. Okay. See, it's kind of turned around to being sweet here.
気に入ってくれたなら
If you like it,
好きな
you
指
can
につけ
just
てくれればいい
put it on your, you can just put it on any finger you choose. See, this is good. Everything leading up to this was like skeevy as all hell. Shannon had only pretended not to know. She already understood what he wanted her to do. But she was standing at a huge crossroad of her life.
もうこんな時間だね
Look how late it's gotten.
今夜はこれくらい
Let's
に
call
し
it
よ
a day. George turned away from Shannon, acting just a bit bluntly.
君に
I could
左
probably
手に
or-
つけて
I could
ほし
probably
いと
order
命
you
令
to
する
wear
こ
it
と
on your
もで
left
きるか
hand.
もしれない君も
You might be timid and
命令さ
dependent
れれば
enough to actually obey that
そ
kind
れ
of
に
order.
従えるという臆
She
病
should
な
rage
甘
bait
え
him
があ
and
る
put
か
it
も
on
し
one
れ
of
ない
her toes. I mean, George might like that. Who knows, you know?
でも
But I want at
最後の
least,
ここだけは
but I want at least this last step to be done by your own will,
最後の意
Sayo.
志でしてもらいたいんだわかるね
Understand? Yeah.
だから
Yes.
それが
So
命令
that's my order.
今夜よく考え
I
て
want you to think about it well tonight and show me your answer
そ
tomorrow.
の返事を見せてほしい
George do look like the type to suck on some toes. Like, look at that face. That is a genuine toe sucker. I didn't mean to make him even weirder in this version. No, it's okay. We're already a George hater. You may grow on these two in chapter 2. Okay. Okay. Shannon nodded back. Today was the culmination of their many days spent together. This moment certainly hadn't come as a surprise to Shannon.
そろそろゲストハウスに戻ろうか。
We should be getting back to the guest house soon.
これ以上遅いと。
If we take any longer, we'll make everyone worry about us. Man's just getting flamed for so many implied possibilities. The potential man! George could be the sickest fuck in the game.
すみませ
I'm
ん。
sorry, I
その、お屋敷
I
に
just remembered something I had to do in the
用を渡し
mansion,
まして
so
その、
um
お屋敷
I have to go back to the mansion. Something this late? Like, look at that sprite! That's the kind of sprite you give to like a Yakuza type character. He's like, well, like, what are you doing here? Ora! What you doing walking in the street all alone, little lady? I'll probably not be back before the end of the stream, so GG from me. Stay safe, Archaeolus. Thank you, thank you. Always appreciate it. Like, look at that! The head tilt, fog glasses, creepy smile, like... If he was in a gang of, like, multiple other people, I think I was gonna get jumped.
本当かな?
Really? George stared into Shannon's face as he laughed mischievously. He definitely saw through Shannon's lie. However, when he saw how she felt, he could sort of understand that she might be so embarrassed that she'd want to be alone. So because she... Stop fogging your glasses. Bro's just really heated right now. I mean, to be fair, proposing to a girl, probably like a bit of a anxious moment. Like, they'd probably feel a little bit warm. The glasses fogging in the, like, cold rain, not the strangest thing to happen, but boy does it look skeevy in the art. So because George realized the meaning behind Shannon's lie, he accepted it. Nah, the glass breaking right there, like, oh my gosh. Hear me out. That whole scene plays so different without the music. You turn off the music, and then it ends with the fucking glass breaking? I'd be scared for Shannon. I'm like, oh no, Shannon, you're in trouble. Oh no. Alright, we're back to this song. I love this song. Shannon entered the entrance hall to the mansion with the tottering gate. A mixture of exaltation and uncertainty gave her a feeling that she couldn't easily describe. It swelled up in her chest until it felt like she was about to burst. After stopping for a second in front of the servants' room to take a deep breath and calm her heart, she opened the door. Inside, Goda, who had been ordered to take the midnight shift at the mansion tonight, was absorbed in a worn-out crossword puzzle magazine. He looked up for an instant to see if one of the family had come, but when he realized there was a fellow servant, he returned to his puzzle as if nothing had happened. Genji-sama told me to come help you. Ah, is that so? That's a relief. That's not good! If Kinzo was the one who said, like, don't let anyone besides, go to work here, she's in trouble. Was that a Shannon death flag? Are they gonna kill Shannon? I was just about to go check that the mansion was fully locked up. I felt uneasy about leaving the room unmanned. After all, Kraus-sama and the others' meeting looked as though it would continue for quite some time. They might request some tea at any moment. That's true. Then, what shall we do? Should I watch over... In that case, forgive me, Sharon-san, but I'll ask that you patrol the mansion. What are you doing, Goda? Fuck! What the fuck, Goda? No! Goda! Do your fucking job! She's not even supposed to be here! I hate Goda. Yes. Shannon was slightly disgusted. Even though she'd come here to help out as a favor, she was casually being forced to do the job of the person actually on duty. Furthermore, after one-sidedly forcing that task on her, Goda returned to his magazine once again and became immersed in his crossword. I want to beat him. I want to like. He needs to get mauled. There's honestly like. That's definitely one of my pet peeves. Probably, it's like when you're meant to do something and you don't do it and shirk it on someone else. Cause like, man, like, I don't know. That's just like, fuck Goda. Throwing people under the bus, making people do his work. Like, we should kill him. But you know what? In most stories like this, the bad people live the longest. Goda's gonna be like the last servant standing, isn't he? The good people die fast, and the evil ass motherfuckers end up living to the very end. Shannon bowed her head as a token sign of respect for her elder, then left the room to patrol the mansion. Thanks to her being a bit ticked off, she managed to suppress that floaty feeling she'd been having until just now. And anyway, she couldn't let Genji or Kanon see her looking like this. She wanted a little time to herself until her heart calmed down, so maybe going on patrol wouldn't be so bad. See, if I were Shannon, I would 10,000% abuse the fact that George likes me right here and be like, "Hey, so Goda's kind of a dick. Can you do something about that?" She began to hear the tumultuous voices of the family discussion coming from the dining hall. Someone was speaking at great length, only to be interrupted by someone else. The second person also began to speak in a very long, drawn-out fashion, until yet another person interrupted. They kept on repeating. It was as though their displeasure was seeping out through their voices. She had been told to go to the guest house, so it would be bad if Kraus discovered her. Thinking this, Shannon dashed past the dining hall. Then she went along a prearranged route through the dark mansion, checking that all the locks were secure. Who's shooting fireworks right now? She walked down the hall, checking each window. There were no humans on Rokkenjima other than those connected to the family, so locking up didn't really serve much of a purpose. I mean, animals can still get in. Like, a bear knows how to use a door sometimes. I'm just saying. No one had been in the habit of locking up at the Oshirimiya had family, at least not until Natsuki had scolded them for being careless. The metal fixtures on the windows were ice cold, and she checked them one by one. The glow in her heart seemed to cool down. Philemon! At that time, she thought she saw something twinkling across the hall. Twinkling? How could anything be twinkling through the darkness of the hall? She figured she must have been imagining it, but she still held her breath. Grasping a curtain, she fearfully gazed down the hall. No, they can't kill Shannon! Not this fast! However, other than the occasional crack of thunder brightening the hallway, she was unable to glimpse any flicker again. It must have been her imagination after all. Maybe her heart was so agitated that she'd seen something that didn't even exist. Shannon went back to checking the windows. However, a certain unnerving memory was resurrected in the back of her mind. It was that ghost story, which had been passed down amongst the servants who served the Ushirimiya head family. The mansion had two different masters, one of the day and one of the night. Beatrice, the master of the night, would sometimes fly around the mansion in the form of a sparkling butterfly. That was the story. Come to think of it, didn't Kanon-kun once say he'd seen it with his own eyes? Though he'd got sulky when I said he must have imagined it and refused to believe him. Could it possibly be true? You put a band-aid on the thumb? Let's go. The roar of the thunder gave no answer. Yeah, Shannon's dead. This witch is gonna kill her. Yeah, Kanon's always sulky though. Yeah. No, he gives like major like, I don't know, just downer vibes. Just like Joshua Trails in the Sky vibes before he got fixed. How creepy it'd be if like Beatrice blinked in the portrait. But maybe even creepier if she doesn't. I see Genji put his jacket back on. Yeah, and we have no idea where the doctor went. The witch is watching. What a transition. That was a really good transition. I love the positioning. The sacrifice is chosen by the key. That's not scary at all. Where's Nanjo in the blunt rotation? He's fine. Nanjo's fine. He's like kind of like maybe right in the middle. He hasn't done anything to piss me off yet, but there's always time. Genji tightened his bow tie and looked outside through the crack in the curtain. Good place to stop if we wanted to. I mean, we're very early. I don't know. We'll kind of keep... We'll, it would be a really good place since it is like... Oh, you know what? Let's do a really long one this week. Because, yeah, it does feel like a nice... it does feel like a nice place now that I think about it. We could start the next stream and maybe even go for like 5 or 6 hours. Because I'm going to do another Umineko stream this week too. Because I didn't get a chance to do my Umineko stream next week. Something's about to happen. Oh. All right, let me get a little teaser. Let me get a little taste, you know? Like the after credits. Oh shit, that just happened. Oh shit. Genji tightened his bow and looked outside through the crack in the curtain. Maybe the rain had died down a tiny bit since the previous night. Something about to happen, I mean, based on what Nubly said. Okay. But the thick rain clouds didn't seem like they'd be letting any trace of the morning sun get by. The morning was dim and far from refreshing. It seems it will last all day after all. Sorry for keeping you waiting, Genji-sama. Something bad will happen really soon. You won't be able to put it down. I mean, I have a feeling. I have a sinking feeling. We're gonna get to the main house and they're gonna be like, whoa, someone's been murdered. And then like, and then we stop the game. Kanon finished checking his appearance and exited the washroom. On their normal schedule, it was rare for anyone to have to suffer going straight from a midnight shift to an early morning shift. They were on a special schedule for 2 days for the family conference. However, unless the typhoon passed today, the relative stayed on this island would last until tomorrow. You'll be addicted. It's okay. Me, famously not addicted streamer, Famously not almost 60 hours into Project Zomboid after 5 weeks or 5 days. We never get addicted. Although, you know what it is with me? I weirdly, or probably not weirdly, maybe a lot of people feel the same way. Anything with a really good story, I can set down and come back to, but I'll get weirdly fucking addicted to doing monotonous shit. Do not Falcom cliffhanger us. But Falcom's all I know, Jeremy. It's the cyclical cycle of parental or generational trauma. Falcom inflicted the trauma of ending on like a crazy-ass cliffhanger. I have to do the same. I'm not going to break the cycle. The person after me is. Surely. Kanon thought it best to be prepared for the special schedule. Kanon thought it best to be prepared for the special schedule to last in an extra day. The two of them left the guest house, opening their umbrellas. The rose garden had been devastated by the wind and rain on the previous night. Even though they'd spent several days making it beautiful to welcome the guests, one stormy night was enough to ruin it. That's kind of like a... You could see that as a parallel to other things. On side. The two headed for the mansion. They were supposed to meet up with Goda and prepare breakfast. Goda was such a perfectionist that he'd probably already woken up and was probably already preparing a breakfast as exquisite and elegant as glasswork. Please let Goda be dead. They reached the overhang by the entrance to the mansion and folded up their umbrellas. Genji took a bundle of several keys from his pocket and unlocked the front door. The Ushidamiya family mansion was the only thing on Rokkenjima, so in the past, they hadn't been in the habit of locking up. However, Natsuki had ordered that the mansion be locked up from midnight to early morning. Ever since then, unlocking the door in the early morning had become part of the servants' morning shift. The task had been given to Genji and Kanon so that Goda could start preparing breakfast as soon as he woke up. Silence had fallen in the mansion, giving the impression that the mansion itself was still asleep. Well then, let's begin the morning chores.
Hi.
Yes, sir. The two of them split up and began opening the curtains throughout the mansion. If the curtains stayed closed, the mansion would remain enveloped in faint darkness, as though it was still trapped in the previous night. Following a well-rehearsed procedure, Kanon went around the mansion, opening the curtains for one window after another, without having to retrace their steps. Even with the horrible weather, drawing the curtains made it feel just a bit more like morning. While doing that, he passed in front of the kitchen. Even though he hadn't smelled anything yet, his stomach started aching for some of Goda's prized cooking. Uh-oh, Goda didn't make it, y'all. Goda's not cooking, he's dead. And the crowd goes wild. Good morning. He tried to greet Goda, who should have been getting breakfast ready, but Goda was nowhere to be seen. The kitchen was darkly lit, and not only were the curtains not open, but the fan wasn't even running. It was still cold without any trace of a fire being lit, so of course there were no signs of breakfast being made either. Though it would have been inexcusable, perhaps Goda had overslept. Even servants are only human. They sometimes sleep in and show up late. In the rare case that such a thing happens, it's part of a servant's code to hide the unsightly scene before anyone notices, smoothly cover it up, and make sure the family never even realizes that anything had gone wrong. Kanon took the receiver of the phone that had been fitted on the wall and dialed the number for the extension line in the servant's sleeping room. He couldn't hear the characteristic sound of a dial tone. Someone cut the lines. Kanon tried picking up the receiver again, but even so, he couldn't hear the usual dial tone. He tried dialing again, but it had no apparent effect. Could the lightning last night have damaged some machine breaking the extension line? The equipment in the mansion was all worn out. Kanon fully understood that even the smallest thing could have caused it to break down. He gave up trying to wake Goda with the phone and dashed over to the servant's sleeping room. How long has it been since I stopped sleeping and started lazily staring up at the ceiling? That vague sense of awakening was part of Natsui's usual morning experience. She always slept lightly, and she couldn't sleep at all without medicine. To Natsui, sleeping was definitely not a happy thing. When she looked outside, she saw it was still pouring. If she hadn't sensed the tiny amount of light, she might have mistakenly thought it was still the previous night. She herself was one of the hosts, so she mustn't wake up later than her guests. Urging herself on, she raised up her body, but still hadn't completely recovered from yesterday's weariness. I like that we're getting the Nazi POV. No one would torment her as long as she remained inside this room. And her headache wouldn't get any worse here. This room was the only place she could find peace. So when she left, it meant returning to the world where her husband's siblings kept trying to stab each other in the back. In that case, wouldn't it be better to just stay locked up in this room forever? That ridiculous notion brought a bitter smile to Natsuhi's face. She was starting to sound like Kinzo. Though she often complained about Kinzo staying locked up in his own room and refusing to attend to everyone else, the truth was that she longed to do the same. Natsuhi gave her head a small shake and her fantasy was replaced by the reawakening of her usual headache. When she reached for the doorknob trying to leave the room, her hand touched the scorpion charm that she had hung from it before going to sleep the previous night. Oh, she actually used it! That's cute. It was Maria's charm, which Natsuhi had received from Jessica. Didn't Jessica say something about it having the power to repel magic? Telling her to hang it from her doorknob? Maybe it was thanks to the charm that at least this room had been protected from the malice of her husband's siblings. Oh, can you imagine if Jessica's dead? Oh no! No, man! If it's Jessica that's cooked! Natsuhi would have no reason to, like, be here. As she thought, her mood began to get a little more cheerful. I wonder if I have Jessica to thank for the little bit of peaceful sleep I managed to receive. Then Natsuhi remembered. That's right. Last night I promised Jessica that I'd give her a charm of my own in exchange for this one, didn't I? No, Jessica's so dead. Natsuhi opened a drawer on her dresser and took out an antique accessory case that she had treasured when she was a child. Inside, there were many small objects that Natsuhi had thought were valuable at the time. I think it's this game's sole purpose to make fucking Natsuhi suffer. From amidst those, she pulled out a red pouch. Inside was a small round mirror about 10 centimeters across. It looked quite old, but the design on the back of the mirror was very ornate, and it felt like something with historical value. At the very least, it seemed much more authentic than the other charm, which looked like a plastic scorpion keychain. She had heard that this was a spiritual mirror for warding off evil spirits, and she was given it specially by her grandmother when her grandfather's mementos had been distributed. It had been believed since long ago that a strange power resided in this mirror. Perhaps people thought it could reflect calamity and malice in the same way it reflected light. Natsuhi returned the mirror to its pouch. It would probably be a fitting object to hand over to Jessica. Just as she was placing it in her pocket, the sound of someone knocking on the door suddenly echoed throughout the room.
Hi.
Yes. Good morning, madam. It is Genji. My apologies for waking you so early. I'm coming now. What is it? No servant had ever come to her this early in the morning, nor had they come to wake her in person. Perhaps something bad had happened. Maybe some fatal oversight had been made while preparing breakfast, something that would shame the household in front of their guests. Natsuhi took a deep breath in anticipation for whatever trouble she was about to hear. When she opened the door, Genji once again gave a morning greeting while bowing deeply. Natsuhi tentatively responded. Good morning. Did something happen? My apologies. It would seem that the telephones have broken down due to the lightning last night. The extension telephone isn't working, so please forgive my coming to see you directly. The extension telephone isn't working. That will be troublesome. Will it be possible to fix? I am afraid we don't know the location of the damage. Later on, I would like to call in an expert to have him repair it. Good eves. Hello, Eli. Good to see you. Good to see you. I am just waiting for the fucking shoe to drop, man. I thought Genji was gonna say something crazy, but no, it's just what we already knew. The telephone lines ain't working. Does that mean we'll be unable to have it repaired until the typhoon passes? Then it will remain broken down for the duration of our guest stay.
客人たちのお世
Will
話
that
に支
hamper our
障は
efforts to care for our guests?
出ないよう
We will do all we can to ensure there are no problems.
結構です。
Very well.
粗相のない
I'm
よう
counting on you to
よろ
make
しく
sure we have no
頼みます
blunders. Natsuki let out a small sigh of relief. She had been prepared for the worst, but damage to the telephones wasn't the kind of trouble she was worried about. Then again, even this would probably be enough to spark sarcasm from Eva. Natsuki gave her head a slight shake.
朝食の準備は順
Are
調
the
ですか
preparations for breakfast proceeding well?
それがゴーダの姿
Honestly, I do
が見えません
appreciate the slow burn approach. I love slow burns. Slow burns lead to like the greatest fucking like stories I've ever played. Like, of course, there's like value and good in like something that's fast and good, but like a slow burn will always be treasured. Like, Utawara Ramono was a slow burn. Trails was a slow burn. And it feels like Umineko is going to be a slow burn too. Xenogears kind of had a little bit of a slow burn up until it like jumped the shark at the disc 2. As to that, we have not been able to find Goda.
朝食の支度も
The arrangements for breakfast have yet to be carried out.
なんですって
What did you say? Natsuki was indignant. To her, this was a much bigger problem than the phone's not working. And despite that, this piece of information was the part that had been postponed. Why did everything go well most of the time and then come to something like this when the relatives were visiting? Natsuki put her hand to her forehead and shook her head.
大方朝寝坊でも
Well, I
しているん
suppose
で
he
しょう
slept in.
とにかく
At any rate,
誰でもいいから急
just
い
see
で
to
朝
it that
食の
someone
準備
hurries up and prepares breakfast. I don't care who. What? Natsuki exited in the hall and turned around for a second to close the door to her room. The creepy thing she saw there silenced her completely. Oh, fuck. Oh, that charm worked. It was an unpleasant sight, as though someone had dipped their fingers into reddish black liquid and scratched at the door around the doorknob. It was probably some sort of awful prank, arranged by some person who wanted to make it look as though they tried to force the door open with bloody hands.
これは
What sort of prank is this?
悪趣味な
How awful.
私も
I also just
今
noticed
こ
it
こ
as
に
I
お
came to
伺
call
いし
you.
て初めて気づきました後ほど
I will
清
clean it
掃いた
later.
します
Now wait.
大方
Noobly, you might have been onto
趣味の悪い客人
something.
の
I don't know if I
冗談
want to put it down right there. Like, I'm waiting for something bigger. Cause like if I had put it down right there, like it would be like so I don't know. Not enough. Not enough for me. I need to see something crazy happen. Perhaps this is a vulgar joke by one of the guests.
不愉快です
Disgusting.
実に不
Truly
愉快です
disgusting. Who in the world would pull such a childish and disgusting prank? Natsuki had a pretty good idea, but of course there was no proof. So even if she pushed the issue, it would just seem as though she was making a fuss about nothing. In fact, it would surely be better to act as though she hadn't even realized that such a prank had been played on her. Natsuki gave the order to have it cleaned and headed off to the parlor with a squeak of her heel. When Natsuki and Genji arrived in the parlor, Eva and Hideyoshi were already there.
おはようございます
Good morning, everyone.
皆さん
おはよう夏日さん
Morning, Natsuki-san.
朝食も
Aaron
ゴーダ
Goda-san
さん
will
が
be making us
作るっ
breakfast
ていう
too.
話やないか朝から胃袋
My
が
stomach's been getting all
大喜び
excited
で
since I
騒
woke
ぎっ
up.
ぱなしなんや
本家の楽しみ
After
は
all, it
食
seems
事く
food
らい
is
が
all
せ
you
い
can
ぜ
look
い
forward
です
to
も
at
の
the head
ね
family household. Eva being toxica.
エヴァさんも
Nah.
朝からご機嫌
Nah,
が
that
よろ
giggle
し
has
い
got
の
me
で
casting hella suspicion on Eva. Is Eva out here killing Goda? Or, yeah, Goda, right? I'm pleased to see that you two are in high spirits so early in the morning, Eva-san. With a weary expression, Natsuki returned Eva's gaze, which was fiercely competitive despite the hour. Then Kanon jogged in. After bowing an apology to the relatives for running inside the mansion, he noticed Genji and told him something in a small voice.
カノン
Kanon,
ゴーダはまだ
have
見
you
つから
still
ない
not
のです
found
か
Goda?
申し訳ございません。
My apologies, madam.
お屋敷内も
I
ゲス
went
トハ
all
ウス
over the
も
inside of the
回ったのです
mansion and
が
guest
ま
house,
だ
but I still haven't found him.
一体どこへ行った
Where
と
in
い
the
うの
world
で
is
す
he gone?
とりあえず今は
At any rate,
ゴーダ
breakfast
よ
is
り
a higher
朝食の
priority
準
than
備が
finding
先決
Goda
です
right now.
至急対応
See
しな
to
さ
it
い
immediately.
はい
Yes. Ganon glanced at Genji. It seemed he had something else to report, but was uncertain whether or not the word should come from him. Genji nodded and decided to give the report himself.
奥様
Madam,
ゴーダだけでは
it is not just Goda.
旦那様の姿も
Your husband is also nowhere to be found.
主人が
My husband?
はい
Yes. Is that it? Is that the shoe drop? I think that's the shoe drop. Yo, people are dying. We finally got to the part where people are dying. Still chapter 1, by the way. But yeah. We're gonna do more this week, so maybe here would be a good place. It's like a little bit early, but I think if we keep going farther than this, we truly will be past the point of no return, and we will run really late. I woke up late today for work. I wasn't necessarily late. I don't think anyone knew I was late, but I knew I was late. So like, I probably want to stop early so I can get a little bit of Zomboid out of my system, and then I can go to sleep good. So yeah, we'll call it here, and then we'll schedule another Umineko for sometime during this week. Probably a day where we can kind of go for as long as we want. I don't have any real plans with my girlfriend this weekend, as much as I would love to have plans, but like she's kind of really busy this week. So I'm probably gonna make a plan to do this on Friday, and then we can go really hog wild on it, since, you know, the weekend I don't have to worry about going to sleep. And then we can really just ride the wave that is Umineko, which has been very, very, very good so far. I love a game that gets me like thinking and discussing. Any game that can get me to this point is already like so high up there on my like charts of like things I enjoy. Yeah, if you're gonna stop now would be the time before things really start up. Exactly, Yailicious. I also like your name. It's fun to say. But yeah, that will be it for me tonight. For everyone who stopped by and everyone who stuck around, thank you so much. Always appreciate the company. Maybe before I start Zomboid, I'll put my schedule together. And then I'll do like a Blue Sky post tomorrow morning when I get up for work. But yeah, that being said, that will do it. GG's. Make sure to like and subscribe, as it helps us out immensely. YouTube recently put out a thing where apparently they're going to make it harder for people to get like affiliate and partner. So I might be trying to push for 1,000 subs by that time this year, next year. So every little bit helps. Nietzsche is straight. I like Yaoilicious as a name. Someone's gonna look 1 year ahead and be like, there were signs. But yeah, GG's. Thank you. A peace.